The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I've got too much on my plate. Don't have no time to be a decent lover. I hope it isn't too late. Searching for the time that has gone so fast. The time that I thought would last. My ever-present past. I've got too much on my mind. I think of everything to be discovered. I hope there's something to find. Searching through the time that has gone so fast. The time that I thought would last. My ever-present past. The things I think I did. I think I did. But the things I think I did when I was a kid. I couldn't understand the words that they were saying, but still I hung around and took it all in. I wouldn't join in with the games that they were playing. It went by in a flash. It flew by in a flash. There's far too much on my plate. Don't have no time to be a decent lover. I hope it's never too late. Searching for the time that has gone so fast. The time that I thought would last. My ever-present past. The things I think I did. I think I did. The things I think I did when I was a kid. What's the things I think I did? I think I did. The things I think I did when I was a kid. When I was a kid.
Oh, 344-499-1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'm in a weird place tonight. I don't know. Yes, Alan.
Hiya, boss.
Yeah.
I can't see you on YouTube. I'm seeing Hayley, but I can't see you.
Well, just because the camera's not pointing at me, that in some way indicates the weirdness of the show. I don't know what kind of show to do tonight, Alan. I don't know whether to do the usual frothy madness, or do I do like an honest show where I kind of tell you that I'm feeling a bit shit? And here's the thing, no disrespect to James and Hayley who are here, because Sam, God knows where Sam is, probably in drug rehab. He's a kid, and Kath is off in a caravan. But and it's always lovely to have you guys both on the other side of the screen. But I find it hard, Alan, to do like a proper honest show when it is not the team that I am most familiar with, i.e. Katarina Boyle and Sam, whatever his last name is.
The A-team.
Yeah, well, it's partly because Kath is like my best mate, so she kind of knows. She knows all of my secrets anyway, right? Because she's my best mate. Outside of being the dick that I work with, she's my best friend, so she knows everything. So I have no shame, in saying stuff in front of her. And Sam is high on monkey spangles or whatever it's called. So he doesn't even know what's going on.
And has a good rapport with the callers.
Yeah. Well, so so having people here who are not, my best mate and someone who's high on drugs. Sam's not high on drugs. That's me trying to do a joke, and it's kind of falling flat. But so having people here who are not who are not the people that I'm used to working with, one of whom is my best mate, kind of makes me feel doing one of those, hey, this is what's going on, guys. This is a confessional. I'm feeling loud. Doing one of those kind of shows is a little bit harder to do.
Oh,
yes.
We can have 3 hours straight to air.
Oh, get stuffed. Boring.
Haley has an experience.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening to what I was just saying, Alan. Jesus. Thanks for listening to the words I was saying. Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Hey, man, what you got?
I've also had a bit of a SHIT day.
Okay, let's see what's happened to you, man.
Well, I just feel like the world's broken as it is, but today is just bleh.
Okay. Well, why? Well, again, you've just reiterated what you originally told me. Can we zoom in a little bit on the picture now and get some specifics?
Yeah, but just why does the world have to be so broken that things...
Again, no, we're still in the wide shot. We're still in the wide shot. We're in the opening shot. We need to now cut to the shot that's significantly closer, so we can start to make out some of the characters. Otherwise, this movie isn't going to make any sense.
A lot of things have happened today that are just ridiculous.
Again, we're still in the wide shot. For example,
what happened at Westminster this morning?
No, here's the thing, right? First of all, did anyone die at Westminster? No one died, right? Here's the thing I think about Westminster. The Westminster thing is good news. Let me tell you why. And this is not in any way to make light of I know some people were injured, right? Some people were injured, so I'm not in any way making light of what happened to them. I don't know the gravity of their injuries. I hope they're not too seriously injured, and of course that must be very traumatic for them and for their families. So please, for 1 second, do not think when I say it is a good thing that happened today, or the thing that happened in Westminster today can be looked at in a positive way. That's a slightly better way of phrasing it, right? And I'll tell you why, Zach. Because these terrorists, right, these idiots, they spend years planning these attacks. Years. Some of them go off to Pakistani or Afghanistan training camps. They download videos. They spend hours praying to get guidance on how to do this, and they spend years, right? Years. The guy drove a car into some cyclists, didn't kill any of them, then smashed into a barrier. That guy's a dick. That guy's an idiot of the highest order. If I got in my car now, I could kill more people than that guy did. And he spent years planning that. So do you know what? When I got up late today and I heard that there'd been a thing in Westminster, my heart sank, and I was thinking, oh man, how many more dead? How many more with oh, no one died, and he smashed into a barrier and then the police arrested him. If that's what we're up against, we should be dancing and celebrating. They're idiots, Zach. They're idiots. Honestly, if I gave you the keys to my car, you could go do more damage than that twit censored himself there, than that twit did today. So, my love and my respect and my heart goes out to those that were injured and their families. It must, and that group of cyclists, it must have been horrific. But if this is what we're up against, it's hardly great minds of war, is it?
Yeah, but also,
I bet these guys they spawn in Call of Duty and get shot instantly. That's how stupid. That's what we're up against.
Yeah, but when I heard about it, I was on my train into central London, stopping at Embankment, right next to Westminster.
Right? Did you go out and have a look?
So,
no, I'm not saying that flippantly. Get the curiosity. So many people are going to misinterpret what I'm saying tonight, but I don't care. Did you get out and have a look? Because I think it's a human reaction to want to see the sight of something, horrific that has happened.
Yeah, so I, in the early hours of the morning, went to London by train, and then halfway through on the train I realised that this had happened, but I didn't stop, I just still went, which is just confusing, because I feel like these kind of things are, they're bad situations, but there's still the thing in your mind that tells you, I want to see what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But so we got one thing. You said one thing bad that has happened today, but actually it's not so bad because it proves that the enemy are absolute dickweeds who can't even smash a car and kill people. That's how stupid these are. So, what was the next thing that happened today that was bad? Nothing.
Well,
I bet that was it.
Earlier, 30 people died. More than 30 people died on a bridge in Italy.
That wasn't just now.
That was earlier.
That was earlier. Well, why? Okay, and that's horrific. But why are you focusing on the negative, man?
Well, I just started BBC News at 10, and it's all negative.
What are you watching the news for? You should be watching Rhubarb and Custard, and The Perishers, and Horrid Henry. That's what you should be watching. Don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. The news isn't for humans.
Yeah.
The news is not meant to be watched by humans. Don't watch, because the news is 30 minutes of the worst that's happening in the world today. That's what they should call it. 30 minutes of the worst that's happening in the world today.
Yeah. Need to play some Fortnite.
Go and play some Fortnite and do what you're supposed to do, for goodness sakes. The news is just 30 minutes of the worst that's happened in the world today. Hey, Jerry.
Madonna's 16 two days.
Go on, say it again, man. I'm struggling to hear you.
Madonna's 16 2 days. Madonna's 16 2 days.
Madonna is 60 in 2 days' time.
Yeah.
Why are you giving me what? And what relevance does this information have to my life?
Just saying. What's the guy doing the antics from the window? He's the guy next to you doing the antics from the window. I was speaking about Madonna. I just can't get it. It gave me down. I've been able to speak proper. It's really gave me down.
I'm struggling to understand you tonight, Jerry, mate. I'm sorry.
I know, it gave me down.
What's getting you down?
Not being able to communicate. Not being able to communicate. It's probably stressing me out. Because I can't communicate, no one can understand me. It's doing me head.
Hang on, man, calm down, because I'm struggling to understand you tonight. What's doing your heading?
It's just doing my head and no one can understand me. I'm a chatty chap and no one can understand me. It's doing me head and no one can understand me. It's doing me head.
I'm not getting a word of it tonight, Jay. I'm sorry, man. Maybe it's because I'm in a pissy mood that perhaps I'm putting up, or maybe it's because you're not particularly well. But I think it could be a combination of the both.
I just like talking. Nobody can understand me. It's hard to talk to people. Nobody can understand me. It's doing me head because
Oh man, I feel terrible, Jerry. I can't understand you tonight, brother.
I know, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I can't. I didn't know. It's probably me. That's a good job. I change your chat, but you can't understand me. It's doing me. It's very down. Because I look forward to it every night and I can't understand. I hate this.
You sound, brother. Honestly, you sound terrible tonight, man. Is it hot there? Are you on high on monkey spangles?
I wish there was.
Oh, me too, brother.
I wish so.
Me too. Let's spark up that bong. Let's get some monkey spangles going.
Yes, please. Just get. I know no one can understand me. I like chatting. I like talking to people. No one can understand me. I just don't know if I like anything to do, trying to talk.
Jerry, I'm going to say something that is going to break my heart.
Bye, take care.
And I'm going to, but.
I don't take it personally,
I'm gonna listen, man. I can't understand you tonight, man, and I'm gonna let you go.
Look after yourself.
But I love you as a brother, and it breaks my heart that you've been dealt such a crappy set of cards.
Look after yourself.
You look after yourself.
Take care. And thank you, Taylor.
Give us a call tomorrow, man, and hopefully put some ice down your pants. That might cool ice around your testicles. Ice around your testicles will cool you down, no end.
Thank you.
And who knows, with the Parkinson's, maybe there'll be you might end up having a fun time. I don't know.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, man. Up your bum, Jerry.
Up your bum.
Yeah, up your bum. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
You notice how nobody's responded to the thing I was saying at the top of the show? I do wonder if is anyone listening? Are they just coming on to do their party pieces? Let's see. Good evening, Keith.
Hello, Iain.
Hello, Keith. Whatever it is you're listening to in the background, could you be decent enough to turn it off?
Yes, of course I will.
Thank you, Keith. What are you listening to? It's not this show, is it?
No, I was actually listening to the TV, but I'm just turning.
So why
it
are you
off
phoning?
now.
So why are you phoning this show if you're not listening to it?
Well, I've had a couple of friends who've asked me to call you tonight.
Right.
And
you
because
you didn't decide to listen to the show. You just thought you'd phone in and do your party piece. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Great. Yeah. Because that's not rude.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not rude, is it?
No, it's not rude, Iain. No.
To phone up a radio show that you're not even listening to?
Well, I haven't got a radio at the moment.
Okay. And how old are you, Keith?
I'm 64.
And what year were you born?
1954.
Well done. Congratulations. You're through to the next round. What is it you want?
Well, I'd like to do an impression, and I'd like to put a shout-out for Cheeseman and OMB.
Okay. Well, I don't get what this is supposed to be.
Well,
because it's certainly not. Let me tell you, it's certainly not entertaining or fun.
Well, it will be when you hear me. What I'm going to
look forward to that, mate. Let's go to Jonathan. Good evening, Jonathan.
How you doing, Iain? It's been a while.
Oh, it's this prick. Do you know what, mate? No thanks. So that guy really is a P. Let in the light, and reject the darkness. Let in the light, reject the darkness. That's what I'm thinking. Let's try James. Good evening, James.
Hi, Iain, you alright?
No!
Tell us. Everyone's thinking it, and you're getting the maniacs calling up.
All the well, I don't know. Yes, I do. I don't know if I want to do an honest show. I do want to do an honest show. If Kath were here, I'd do like a really honest show and just kind of set out the scene, and who knows, James? There might even be a few tears tonight. But when it's it's James and it's Hayley, and no disrespect to James and Hayley, they're wonderful human beings, but I can't be as relaxed as I feel lousy, man. I feel lousy. That's how I feel. I feel lousy.
I just called up, and I normally call up much later because everyone's calling up, except Jerry probably, but everyone's calling up and just being weird and not asking you how you are.
But that's not why I'm doing it. I was disappointed that Alan obviously wasn't listening to a single word that I said and was just waiting for a gap so that he could launch into his whatever it was he'd prepared for tonight's show. And that Jonathan guy phoning up is the one that is drunk and thinks that he made me, and is is so much darkness from him. And so, I don't know. Can I tell you this? I can tell you this, James. I've met you. I know you're a good-looking guy. You're a strong guy. You're a powerful guy. You're a buff guy. When we've hugged, I've felt those muscles. You work out.
Oh man, I love you, man.
You work out, brother. Hang on a second. We're just going to open the window for a second, James, and just allow in a little bit of darkness. Just a little bit of darkness, just to prove to you that I'm not paranoid. Yes, Jonathan.
Hello?
Hello, Jonathan, you're on the air.
Oh, you've done it again. No, come on. It's full circle of character.
Okay.
We've been talking for a while, haven't we?
What would you like to say, Jonathan?
No, I just want to see how my mate, old Iain Lee, watch your old life. Been on TV, in the house. No, sorry, the jungle. The house is next, isn't it? But I'm just hoping that you're good. But I'm just a bit disappointed with the amount of weirdos that you get on this show tonight. There's some guy who obviously had mental health problems, and you just really destroyed him, belittled him.
Which guy was that, Jonathan?
About 5 minutes ago, live on air.
What was it called, Jonathan? Here comes the darkness. We're gonna shut the window soon. What was he? Yes. What was he talking about? What was he talking about?
At the end of the conversation,
what was he talking about?
You just sound like a poor man's Howard Stern at the end of the day.
There we go. There's the darkness. Thanks for your call. Thanks for your call, Jonathan. And shut the window, attract the light, reject the darkness. There you go. Just to let everyone know, I'm not paranoid. That guy. Hey, coming up next, we've got John, and then we've got Paul. That guy will be phoning for the next hour or so.
Do you still have me?
I've still got you.
Hey.
I got you, James. Here he goes, calling in again. He keeps calling in. He hates me, but he listens all the time. I suspect he's masturbating. I know I am. So anyway, James, do you know what? I just sank, right? I tell you exactly what happened, right? So I got this record label, right, where I just release Monkeys stuff, right? All we do is release Monkeys stuff. And we've been doing it for about 4 years, and we've got an Imani Coppola thing coming out, and we've got this Nesmith album coming out, and it's a joy. It's been a joy to do. But in the last 6 months, it stopped being a joy, and it started being quite hard work. And we don't make any money from it, and we put, a lot of effort into it, and it's cost me a fortune. And this last release, this Nesmith release, has cost me and my mate Glenn £15,000, and we'll hopefully we'll make that back. That's what the plan is to try and break even. Okay. And so far we've either broken even or made a little profit. And I think we'll break even.
It's a labour of love.
It's a labour of love, and it's beautiful, and my mate Scott designs the covers, and they are beautiful, and this Nesmith album, live at the Troubadour, it is a work of art. The cover is stunning. It's a work of art. And then someone reaches out to me in America and says, we'd like to make T-shirts of the design. And I said, okay, well, I'll have to speak to Scott, because he's a T-shirt designer. It's his artwork, but I know that he can't sell T-shirts in America for insurance purposes, so I'll reach out. So I spoke to Scott, and Scott said, yeah, if you just get me, $2.50 a shirt, and I'll bet. Okay. So I went back to the person and said, yeah, okay, we're in, this is all good. And then I get a message from that person saying, oh, I see you've given, you've gone behind my back and done a deal with someone else. I'm like, what?
Hey.
And so someone who works for Michael Nesmith is selling the T-shirt of this album cover. And I don't know what's happened, man. So I've gone to my business partner, Glenn, who's the brains. And I said, Glenn, how are they selling this? Have they got the rights to sell this? He says, no, they haven't. We'll send them an email. We'll stop them. So he sends an email. Then an email comes back saying, and get this, James, it says, oh no, we have got the rights. Iain gave them to us.
No.
And I'm thinking, what the heck? And I start panicking. And then the email comes back where I gave them the rights. And here's the thing. The last 2 years living in that flat room, it's a room, right, has rotted my brain, okay? It's completely rotted my brain to the point where any creativity and any functioning awareness of what is going on around me has just completely gone, right? And this divorce is coming to a head, and it's the most stressful thing, and I'm not talking to my wife, and it's horrendous, right? And I miss my boys and all of this. So an email comes in a few weeks ago saying, hey Iain, working with Nez, can I just check, do we have the rights to use that cover for publicity and merch? And I, just without even really knowing what that meant, went, yeah, of course you do, man, go for it. So
being obliging.
Me being obliging. So that is me giving over the rights to what is actually Scott's artwork. He should have owned the copyright to it. And I've given it. So I've now annoyed people in America because I've said to someone they could have the rights when they couldn't, and I've said to someone they could have the rights when I don't remember saying it, but I did. So they're all annoyed. Scott is brilliant about it, but he's upset because I gave away his copyright. Gave it away like an idiot. And he's cool because he's a good friend, and I gave him some money, you know, because he would have made some money from T-shirts. So I've given him some money, so that side is covered. But he's gutted because he's a T-shirt maker, and someone else is making a T-shirt of his design. So he's he's an artist, and he's upset, and I totally get it. So I feel, and I'm starting to well up now, James. So I feel I've let down, like, one of my best friends. I've annoyed people in America. One of the reasons I was doing this record label was so that I might get a little bit of respect from, doesn't this sound silly, from the Monkees, but they don't give a shit. So I've just messaged my friend Glenn and said, you know what, Glenn, I'm done, man. This has stopped being fun. This has stopped being fun, and I'm finding it stressful, and I'm making decisions that I don't know the consequences of these decisions, and I'm letting friends down, and people are slagging me off online, and I'm out, and I just feel terrible, Joe. I feel terrible. And I went and had a little cry in the toilets before the show, and it's partly the emotional roller coaster of getting divorced is, here's the thing, man. Getting divorced is so much more painful and harder than you could. You read in the paper, such and such pop star got divorced from such and such an actor, and these two actors got divorced, and this model had a quickie divorce. And you go, oh, this is a divorce. Oh, yeah, get over it. But man alive, it is the most.
It's not an entertainment article. It's not something that you can just expose and be read over in a minute and then go on to the next one.
It isn't. It's
people.
It's I feel like a failure. This is it. This is the first time I've been able to put this into words. I feel like a failure, man. I failed. I failed at being a husband. I failed at being a husband. So this record label stuff is just like someone squeezing a spot and it's allowing all this stuff out. This is what it is. I failed at being a husband, and it sucks, man. And it really, really sucks. And I've set a terrible example to my kids of what being a man and being a father and being a husband is. I've let my wife down. I've let her I've failed, James, and that's a big failure. And now I've got this lovely farmstead that I'm living on, and it's beautiful, and it gives me plenty of time to sit on my own and realise that I failed. That's what it is. I failed, man, and it hurts.
Ian, you've got those two boys out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything you haven't heard already.
No, and don't, because it's going to make me cry, and I don't want to cry on the radio tonight, because we've already sent in our awards tape, so there's no point in me blubbing tonight, because it ain't going to get me no awards. That's the only reason we cry on the radio, is to get awards.
Normally I call up Ian and then I do some sound effect or a joke or something, but I'm in a pretty crappy place at the moment.
What's happening with you, brother?
Oh, my dad's an alcoholic, basically. So he's been increasingly spiralling down this kind of suicidal route, and it's more complicated than I can even explain on air. But recently he's been self-harming, tried to take his life twice in a month. No one's giving me the help I want in terms of help for him, support for him. I've tried to get him sectioned. No one wants to help because he's intoxicated all the time.
Yeah.
I went to Manchester for 2 days, and I got a text from his friend saying he was about to jump off the pub building. So I'm in a pretty low place at the moment. So he has been sectioned after that, luckily.
Well, good.
And I don't want
done.
I don't want to give away too much, but it's just, when you think, it's almost like I failed as a son because he doesn't want to see me progress as a person. So it's like it's a similar state of mind, although it's different.
Have you been to Al-Anon or spoken to anyone at Al-Anon?
No, I didn't realise it was for families too.
Well, no, this is the thing, right? And it's not for
Yeah.
not everyone's cup of tea, but I do know a lot of people that have had a lot of relief from it. So, Alcoholics Anonymous is for the boozers, but then there's a different group called Al-Anon, which is here we go. Al-Anon family groups provide support to anyone whose life is or has been affected by someone else's drinking, regardless of whether that person is still drinking or not. For some of our members, the wounds still run deep, even if their loved one may no longer be a part of their lives or have died. So basically, what it is, from what I can gather, is that it's structured in exactly the same way as an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. You'll sit in a circle and you kind of go, "Yeah, my name's Steve, and my son is an alcoholic, and I don't know how to deal with it." And you just kind of share your stories. Now, it might not be for you, James. I don't know what you are, but you know how you are in terms of therapy, and it's not therapy, but in terms of groups and talking to people and support groups and stuff like that. But not many people know about Al-Anon. And it is strict. It's not about getting that person sober at all, because you can't get them sober.
They need to want to.
They need to. No one could get me sober. It was me when I had my relapse a little while ago, a few months ago. It was and I told Kath about it, and I told my therapist, and I told my friends in some friends in recovery. They couldn't do it. It was me that had to go. You know, I put them in a terrible position, but it was me that had to go. Do you know what? This sucks. I need to go and do the work. So it's the meetings aren't Al-Anon aren't about you coming up with a plan to help your dad. It's about you and how it impacts you and what you can do to protect yourself. Because you getting a phone call saying your dad's on the roof, he's going to jump off. Well, so what? So what are you going to do? Well, you can't do anything, and that's not fair. That's not fair on you. That's his pain that he's reaching up to Manchester to and hitting you over the head with.
Yeah.
That's his. That guilt that you felt. I bet you felt guilty when you got that phone call.
Yeah. There's nothing I could do, even though...
That guilt is his, man. That's his guilt. This is what alcoholics and drug addicts are brilliant at doing. I know, because I did it. We are brilliant at projecting our guilt and our shame and our self-loathing on the people that love us. So that guilt and that shame and that self-loathing you felt when you got a phone call saying your dad was 200 miles away about to jump off a pub, that was his guilt, man. That all belonged to him. Yeah. And he brilliantly passed some of it on to you.
It's a good point. Thank you so much. But I didn't mean to hog the spotlight there.
There's no spotlight, man. There's no spotlight. I suggest, Google Al-Anon, have a look at their website. If it's not for you, it's not for you, man. But I suspect they might be able to give you a little bit of comfort.
Yeah, but that's why I was in a dark place. I thought you sounded like you're in a dark place. Let's be miserable together.
Hang on a minute. Let's cheer up the mood a bit. No, that's not it.
Shaggy Pony.
There we go. You got a shaggy pony out of it, James. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Whispering lunar incantations for cross parents, cross dressers.
Yeah, did you know this about me?
And cross rail workers.
Steel and polycarbonate.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got a very poor internet connection.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Let's go to John. Hello, John.
Hi, Ian. How are you? I just always seem to call you on a night when all the silly people call. So.
And you don't include yourself in that list of silly people, do you?
Usually not.
No. Okay. Well, this is the thing. The idiots that call in never consider themselves to be part of the idiots that call in. So just think about that for a bit. Chew on that.
Yeah, I will.
Didn't listen. Didn't hear it. He's not listening. He's not listening. He's phoned up to do his party piece. Okay. All right. Forgive me for talking on my show. I'll be quiet, John. You do your little piece, and then we'll carry on. Okay.
Okay. Now the average age listening and saying about all the problems that they're going through is about 54. There's not a lot of young people. They've got probably better things to do. 30, 40-year-olds.
Okay, we're 20 seconds in and I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. I was just laughing because someone's just tweeted, right? Hugh Simpson has tweeted. I really don't know. He follows me, tweets me quite a bit. I really don't know how people listen to this show. I find it really depressing. It's a bit like listening to your nan complaining about her aches and illnesses. So I've retweeted it with "F off then, you snowflake."
No.
It's
You're
been
genuine.
Please be quiet.
I like.
Please be quiet. Please be quiet. Please be quiet. And that tweet of me telling him to F off has been liked by Jeremy Vine. So I'm very, very happy. Right, John, back to your party piece that we're all dying to hear.
No, I'm very upset that you're upset and it comes across through the radio. And the reason why I'm upset is because I like you. Not that I know you, not any personal, but that's why I like to listen to you. You don't offer very much, but you offer personal.
I don't offer very much.
No, in terms of content. You just offer a personality.
This is supposed to make me feel better?
No,
I don't offer very much.
You don't offer very much in terms of content, but you're getting paid to be like a shock jock, something like that.
Okay, I'll be a shock jock right now, John. Why don't you shove your phone right up your jacksie? Let's go to CJ. Good evening, CJ.
Yeah, I like the fact that I'm brought in to a phone being shoved up a jacksie.
Did he call me a shock jock?
Isn't it?
But how's that supposed to make you feel better? You don't provide very much, but I listen to you. Okay, man.
Well, unfortunately, you get a lot of people that see the number.
Hang on, just be quiet for a second, CJ. What's that vibrating noise? Or, as I should say, what's that vibrating noise? Is it? You sat on one?
Sorry about that.
Dirty boy.
No, forgive me.
Dirty boy, forgiven. Forgiven, dirty boy! Good lad, CJ!
I rang up, and I had nothing to ring about.
Oh. What are we going to do, CJ? What is it all about? And what are we going to do? There's two questions there for you that I think you know the answer to, and I want you to tell me. What is it all about is number one, and number two is, what are we going to do?
My solutions always involve getting naked and running around places.
Oh.
They don't work out for anyone.
No, I'm even embarrassed to be naked in my new farmstead because people can see me from... the farm hands can see me.
No, yeah, but then in your head, you're imagining these farm hands have got telescopes looking in on your tiny penis. So,
they don't need telescopes. Hey, here's the thing. Here's something that happened today, right? So I had to take my car in for an MOT last week, and I took my scooter in for an MOT this week, right? And I took them to different garages, but nearby. And it was like on like a sort of trading estate, and there was like a little cafe, or quite a big cafe actually nearby. So both times I went in to have a little bit of breakfast, and it was really nice, very very friendly staff. Are you the bloke from the job? Yes, I am. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm getting my MOT. Oh, lovely. And then today, oh, you're back again. Yeah, I'm back. Would you like a loyalty card? I went, well, this is the second time I'm here. Do you know what? Yes, I will have a loyalty card.
Well, you say how pointless.
Well, I did. So she stamped it twice, and it's great. And today they did poached eggs, CJ. Not everywhere has got the skill set or the time to do poached eggs, and I'm a sucker for poached eggs. So I had poached eggs and beans on toast, and it was perfect, right? And then, I hope you're enjoying yourself there. And then, I went to the toilet. This was about 2 o'clock, because I hadn't had my, we're going to go below the waistline for a few minutes, dear listener. I hadn't had my morning ablutions. So I went to use their toilet, and I thought I could get away with just doing a pee. And once I was in there, I thought, do you know what? If I don't sit down, I could be in trouble. So I sat down and did what I had to do. Did what any man would do. I did a John Wayne, okay? And then I got up and I flushed it, but it was a tricky flush. So I missed the flush. So the water came through, but it didn't flush because I missed the flush. Okay, I'm like, oh man. So everything is still there. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to wait for the cistern to refill, and then I'm gonna have to flush it again. I thought, okay, I'll do that. I can't leave that there. So I waited about 45 seconds for the cistern to fill, and then I went for another flush. I flushed too soon. I missed the flush. So it didn't flush. I'm there going, oh, jeez. So then I'm thinking, right, I'm taking the top off of the cistern to see if there is any way I can speed up the filling of the tank, right? So that, because I think I can't stay in here for much longer because they're going to think something dodgy is going on. So I couldn't fill up the system quicker. So I put the thing on, and I waited about 2 minutes. I went to flush the toilet. It still wasn't full up. I missed the flush. I thought, oh, God. So there's a bowl in there full of my fecal matter. And I thought, do you know what? Life is too short. So I got out, put my coat on, picked up my bag and my crash helmet, and I left it. I can never go back to that cafe again, even though they do great poachies.
Oh, you can.
No, I can't because now the next bloke will have gone in and gone, here, you know that bloke, right, from the jungle? Well, as well as being a strawberry thief, he's a shit and runner.
Go say poof.
So I can't go back. This is going to be in the Mail online because they write a lot of old crap. This is ruined my career and ruined my. So this is tonight's phone in. Is places you can't go back to. 03444991000.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable scenes, CJ.
I did bring in for something.
Yes.
And it's something. It's a sad thing. And it's a genuine sad thing.
Okay, could you turn the vibrator off while you told us the genuine sad thing? I mean,
unbelievable, unbelievable. But I had a friend of mine recently that decided to, I know, here's the best solution to my life. I'm going to go and hang myself.
No, man, I'm sorry, buddy. Ah, jeez.
And does this make any sense to you? But this is what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. I've just been going, all right, fair enough. Yay, whatever, it's cool.
Does it make any sense to me? No, but then why should that make, why should that make any sense? So you saying that you feel nothing instead of sadness, or what are you saying?
I feel like it's like I've closed a door.
Because I can hear the sadness in your voice, CJ.
Really? Oh.
I can hear that you want to cry, can't I? I can hear that. I think I can hear that. I hope I'm not overstepping my mark by saying that. I can hear you.
That is a remarkable. What's the word for it, Ian?
Psychic. I'm Christian Dior. I'm the psychic from Howard Hughes Show. You've been through a rough time, CJ. But let me tell you, in the next 7 years, it's certainly going to pick up. I see you travelling to a foreign country.
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick.
Mary loves Dick. Am I not overstepping the mark? I think people can hear that in your voice, man.
Maybe, but I mean, what I've tried to do is I've sort of tried to just go, hey, hello everyone, how are you doing?
Yeah.
But, when you do that through social media, maybe people don't quite, people don't see that, do they? You don't get vocal tones, do you, when you're on social media?
No, social media is, what is it these days, 280 characters on Twitter and a picture of your lunch on Facebook. That doesn't...
Exactly.
That's not... Here's the thing, guys. Social media, electronic communication is not real communication. Even this, to a certain extent, is not real communication. But unless...
I'll do it.
Go on. Mine's better. But at least we're using our voices, so intonation can be picked up on, and nuance and subtleties and sarcasm and irony and humour and aggression. These can be picked up on. We're not got our faces involved, but this
That's
is
ironic,
more
because it's Facebook.
Exactly, but this is more real than social media, Twitter and Facebook and WhatsApp. Instagram, these things, they're not real communication, man, and we're screwed because there is a whole generation of people growing up now that think that sending out a tweet is communication, that sending a text with emojis and no words is communication. It ain't, man. Ain't.
There's an irony to this, actually. And I know you're not big on Star Trek Next Generation, because you saw the first series.
I saw the first episode where it was all Shakespearean people.
Oh, it got better.
Yeah.
Got better. But into the third or fourth series, they introduced the Borg, and they are pretty much what social media has turned into. It's pretty much where we're at now. And that was Gene Roddenberry going, oh, this is where we're going. Oh.
Yeah. So, hang on, you're saying I'm like Gene Roddenberry?
I'd say you're more like, going back to, what's the chap that did War of the Worlds?
Jeff Wayne. Made myself
No,
laugh with
not
that.
Jeff Wayne. That was brilliant.
That was great. War of the World. I don't know.
When you got his face on the bloody screen going, how cool is that? What's his face? The one that...
Tom Cruise.
No, not Tom
Orson
Cruise.
Welles.
Orson Welles doing the intro, and then it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant piece of music.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic.
I'm going to cut you off now because I don't know what you're talking about. You're babbling. Bye. Look, it says here, Steve has a potential to be a bit racist. Let's see where this goes. Hello, Steve.
You know, I'm not racist, Ian. I'm left wing. You're the right wing.
Am I?
Well, that's how you made it sound the last time I talked to you.
Okay. What have you got for us tonight, Steve?
What I'd like to talk about is something meaningful for a change, because I've never had so much toshing all my life.
I don't know if you did you listen to the last call?
Yeah.
Guy talking about his mate who killed himself? Guy talking about someone who killed himself? That wasn't real enough for you?
Well...
Or was that a load of old tosh? You liberal lefty. You liberal lefty. That was a load of old tosh bloke talking about a mate who took his own life. That wasn't real enough for Steve! It was not real enough! He wants to get real because he's a liberal lefty!
It sounded as real as the so-called terror attack today by MI5.
Oh, Steve, you're a prick.
No, you're a prick.
No, you're a prick.
That's all you talk about, by the way. You're a paedophile.
There we go. Come on, Steve, let's have it. So the terrorist attack...
I bet there's some things about you somewhere, isn't there?
Go on, let's have it.
That's all you talk about, sex and paedophilia on your show.
Okay, come on, let's have it, Steve. I'm sitting back, I'm enjoying this. Go on.
Yeah, you're a bit weird, aren't you? You're either frustrated, you don't get enough, or you've got some weird kind of fetishes going on, because you're always talking about
it's kids.
Sex in some shape or
It's
form.
kids, is it? It's kids is my fetish, is it?
Well, could be anything.
Well, you've said kids.
You're so weird.
You've libelled me, and you said kids. So how are you going to get out of this one? You've libelled me on the air.
You libelled me last time, calling me an anti-Semite and a Zionist.
You said, if I remember correctly. By the way, if I remember correctly, you said something anti-Semitic. But you're calling me a paedophile. You're calling me.
Did.
Focus on the case in hand. You're calling me a paedophile?
Well, you're always on about strange things, aren't you? You're always mentioning sex.
I like sex. I like sex. I do like sex. You've got me there.
Do you get enough of it? 'Cause you
never get enough of it.
Going on about it.
Never get enough of it. Never get enough of it. I want more sex, and I like dirty sex as well.
It's with the right age, yeah.
Sorry, say that again, Stephen.
So it's with the right age.
Okay. So what age do you think I go for, Steve?
Well, I've rung up to talk about this.
I don't care, because you're not going to stand a chance to get onto that point now, because you've called me a paedophile.
Well, I've just said it.
So could you back that up with some evidence?
Why do you keep going about sex on your radio show?
Why do you call me a paedophile on my radio show?
Why do you call me a Zionist or an anti-Zionist?
Well, hang on a minute, mate. It was one or the other. They're both at different ends of the spectrum. You don't even remember which one it was.
Why did you mention the word Zionism and Jews run the shop when I didn't last time?
I remember you. Okay. Let's focus on the libel of today, where you called me a paedophile. So you like to listen to a show that's hosted by a nonce, do you? Wow, what does that say about you, Steve?
No, it says about you, because you twist things like.
But you keep listening to a show that is hosted. You're not going to get. You do not stand a chance in hell, Stephen. You do not stand a chance in hell in talking about the thing you phoned up to talk about. So you can either have this conversation. You can either have this conversation where we address my paedophilia issues, or you can hang up. Which is it going to be, Stephen?
You can. I didn't even hear that.
No, of course not, because you weren't listening, because you're a horrible, rude little man. You're a disgusting scumbag.
Yeah, it says the man who cried, it says the boy that cried on that I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah, I showed a different side of masculinity, which I'm very proud of, and I'm glad my boys saw it, yeah.
Yeah, you're everything that's wrong with today's society.
Well, I'm a paedophile, aren't I?
Well, you must be, because you're always going on about sex in underhand ways.
In underhand ways? I love a little reach around, if that's what you're referring to. By the way, I'm so glad I was able to display in front of 15 million people a different side of masculinity, particularly after hearing that call from CJ about his friend who was unable to express his masculinity in a healthy way and took his own life. So, yeah, no, I'm glad to be part of the solution. Anyway, Steve.
That was probably about as real as today's so-called terror attack.
Wow, so now you're questioning that. Steve, do you know what? We're going to put a little sign by your name saying you're not welcome on this...
sign by name. I won't ring Iain the twat anymore.
Okay. Thanks very much
Please hang up.
You can't even hang the phone
Please
up properly.
hang up.
He can't even hang the phone up properly. Let me just tell you. CJ, I'm really sorry, mate. That was horrific that he dragged your buddy into that. And I'm really, really sorry, man. You shouldn't have had to hear that, and that was out of order.
I just want to have a go at him.
Yeah, he's not listening. He thinks I'm a paedophile, so I'm sorry, mate. That was unfair. That was unfair of him to do that.
But it's just, you've nothing to apologise for. That was his narrow-minded vision. And to be fair, you know, he's probably listening to your show, waiting for a thing to jump into, you know.
Oh, man, this has been a very dark first hour, CJ. I wonder if... I've got a feeling we might be able to make it even darker in the second hour. You up for that?
No, I feel really sad, that's all.
We're going to take it darker in the second hour, CJ. You've got to carry on listening.
All right, okay.
Bye. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Don't live in the past. Don't hold on to something that's changing fast. What we are is what we are, and what we wear is vintage clothes. Vintage clothes. Vintage clothes. We jump up for joy. Who cares if we look like a girl or boy? What we are is what we are, and what we wear is vintage clothes. Yeah, vintage clothes. Vintage clothes. A little more, a little tall. Check the rack. What went out is coming back. Don't live in the past. Don't hold on to something that's changing fast. What we are is what we are, and what we wear is vintage clothes. Vintage clothes. A little more, a little tall. Check the rack. What went out is coming
Honestly, yeah. Hang on, I'm going to do something. You might hear something, and then I'm going to stop it. There we go. Memory Almost Full by Paul McCartney from, what, about 2001? Maybe even... Anyway, it's a brilliant album. So, do you remember... 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. So, do you remember yesterday? This story we did right at the end of the show. Can I just read a bit of this story? This is in the Mirror Online. Teen has intimate relationship with creepy zombie doll, and they're set to marry next month. Felicity Kadlec, who has her doll's name tattooed on her arm, showers the figure with kisses and dresses her in pink clothes. A teenager says she, and this story is in the papers, so it must be true. A teenager says she's set to marry a creepy zombie doll that she's fallen harder for than any of her past boyfriends. Felicity Kadlec claims she has an intimate relationship with the young female doll called Kelly, which is covered in fake blood and has a mangled face. The 19-year-old, who has Kelly's name tattooed on her arm, showers the disturbing figure with kisses and dresses her in pink clothes. The doll was gifted to Felicity when she was just 13, after finding it on a creepy doll collection website, and the pair are now in love, the teen claims. Creepy doll collection website.com. Felicity from the US state of Massachusetts says she plans to marry Kelly next month. The student said, I found Kelly on a creepy doll collection website.com, and I was gifted her when I was 13. But it wasn't until I was 16 years old that I started to get feelings for her, but it was something I kept on trying to deny. I have had boyfriends in the past and always thought I was in love with them, but they never made me feel the way I do now. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand our relationship, but I am so confident that I'm in love with Kelly that I got her name tattooed on my arm. We have a normal, intimate relationship which is progressing in the normal way, and we are getting married in September. Despite having owned Kelly for over 6... Well, anyway, there's no point in me reading this story about Felicity Kadlec in Massachusetts, because we're going to go to Massachusetts now and speak to Felicity Kadlec. Good evening, Felicity.
Hello.
How are you doing, Felicity?
Oh, I'm doing great. I just took Kelly out for a ride, and we feel great. Yeah.
So, you're getting married to a zombie doll.
Yes, and I have to be honest. When you call her disturbing and creepy, I always thought to myself, like, if a kid comes out deformed and they get picked on, and then they go home and kill themselves, everybody gets mad, but then they pick on a doll that looks, deformed or whatever, and it's nothing. But if they turn around, like if Trump, the president, turned around and said, no black dolls on the market, everybody would be freaking out, even though it's just a doll. So I don't feel that she's disturbing.
No, she's got no lower jaw, has she? And her face is all pummeled in, and it's all black and bruised. So that's quite, and it's not, yes, if it were a black doll that you were in love with, and I were to say, well, she's in love with a black doll, and that's crazy, then yeah, of course, but, because that would be offensive to people of colour. But I don't think I'm being particularly offensive to the zombie community by saying that doll.
Well, I'm not talking about you. I just mean people who, maybe I shouldn't get into it. I'm trying to.
No, get into it. Get into it, Felicity. You're honestly, you won't get a better audience than here. Trust me, in terms of understanding. So, there's so much I want to ask. Why has it not worked? Well, first of all, okay, here we go. It says in this story that you've had boyfriends in the past, but yes. Kelly, am I right that Kelly is a girl doll?
Yes.
So does that, are you, and if this is an inappropriate question, then please tell me to be quiet. My mob is, are you bisexual, or are you just gay for dolls, or how does that work, if you know how it works?
Well, I must say, let me just explain. For the first time, when I was living with somebody else, I had said, at 16, I was dating this 5'7" clown doll I have. Her name is Cece, and she's a woman. And I said, I think I like girls. But then I had people telling me, that's not gay, that's just being weird. But to be honest, if I could get Kelly with doll parts like a real doll, people say when you're gay, I'm going to use appropriate language on here, but if you like the down below area, you like that. I mean, but then again, you have other people saying, oh, well, it's not about parts, it's about hearts. And I don't know whether I know I'm gay for Kelly, but I don't feel, I dated a male doll too with a mask on. He kind of represents Michael Myers. But other than that, I dropped him too. I kept going back to Kelly, and I don't know whether I'm gay or not. If I say I'm gay, people say no because she's a doll. But
also, you're young you're young, and you got the rest of life to work out what you are. And sexuality is not binary. It's kind of it's a spectrum, isn't it? We're all a little bit everything, aren't we? I think
it's about the hearts.
Hearts, not parts.
You could fall in love with a guy. You don't know because it's about the connection and the bonding. When I first met Kelly, I didn't have lesbian feelings for her, but then all of a sudden, I don't know, she just took my breath away, I guess I could say.
There's a picture of you going to kiss Kelly, and under the caption, the zombie doll is missing part of its face and is covered in fake blood. How does one get intimate, sexually intimate, with a zombie doll?
You want me to say it on the radio? I mean, I don't want to get a little, you know. Do you want me to say it on the radio?
I want you to say it. It's a late night show over here. As long as you don't use any particularly rude words, we can do this. If you go too far, I can tell you, but I think we can do this, Felicity.
All right. Well, she can't really do much to me because I feel like in a way it's kind of like her own disability. Like every doll, they can't move, but they have a spirit. Like they have like that Robert the doll in Florida. She's not evil like him, but she has her own spirit. But you know, I rub up against her. I kiss her chest. She just so. And even thinking about it, then sometimes I'm listening to certain music and I think about her. I think about her like taking off her clothes, like just. I don't know. I love her so much. I'm going to be honest with you, and I know this has nothing to do with what you asked me, but I can't stand people, and even though she's kind of like a person to me, she would never hurt me the way I've been hurt recently.
Oh,
you know?
Man, now I know. Now I get you, Felicity. I can't stand people either. They only let you down.
Yeah, like, you know what they'll do to you is like somebody, I'm not going to mention any names because this is a TV, but I had somebody living here where I'm living now, and I'm not going to mention any name, but the person, oh yeah, you're my friend. I love to give me kisses on the cheek, and then all of a sudden she turns around and I you know, it's a long story, but people are trying to help me get my life together, and all of a sudden, you know, people think that I like to be baby, well, that I think I'm a little kid because I used to be like that. I like being a woman, and they think I want to be a little kid. And she says, no, you're going to do it, and you're going to start pointing a finger at me, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, I tell you what, my friends, like, they come around and they get nasty. And there's always an excuse. They're high, they're drunk, they're coming down from a drug thing. Everybody has an excuse but me. I have bipolar, I have depression, and I do things, and here I am getting into trouble. There's always an excuse, and I can't stand it. Kelly's the best.
So you're right, go on.
Kelly's the best thing that ever happened to me. My father, who's now dead, and I want everybody to know this and make sure everybody hears this, he died. Okay, and he died, and we were so close. When I was 11 years old, I knew Kelly when I was 10, but I didn't dare tell my adopted mother because my adopted mother, she would have flipped and said, "You're not getting something like that, $400, and it's bloody and it's gruesome." And Mark, this is not my words, but she's ugly. So what I did was at first I wanted the boy zombie dolls, then I went on to Kelly. And my dad would say no. Then he turned around and he said, if you get good grades, I'll buy her for you.
Okay.
So he bought her for me on my 13th birthday. Then this past March, he passed away. And he was actually really starting to like Kelly, and because she caused me so much joy, he said I loved my father, and I do feel like the night he died, which I regret because I was kind of bitter because he didn't go to the hospital in time, and I didn't give him enough kisses and hugs, and he died that night.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I feel like he came to Kelly and said, "You take care of my baby," because Kelly's taking care of me. Because I'm going to be honest with you, is it okay if I say it? It's nothing vulgar, but is it okay? It's about depression. Is it okay if I say it?
Yeah, go on.
I self-harm sometimes, and I know I shouldn't say it, but when I put Kelly in the bathroom with me when I take a shower and she's there, I won't do it in front of her. I could never do anything in front of her because she's not capable of. She helps me. People don't understand. I don't want people to be so rotten.
Yeah. How long ago did you say a lot of information there. How long ago did you say your dad passed away?
It was March. It's now August. I'm not good with
March of this year. Oh, okay. So that's recent, man. That is recent and that is rough. I'm really sorry for your loss.
You know, I told myself, I'm a very sane person. I don't want you to think, but these are my feelings. If I wrote a book, I would put this in a book, but I want you to know that when I first knew when I first could see the signs that he was going to pass away, he wasn't eating a lot, he was getting sick. I turned around and I told Kelly, I don't care what God would say. He's breaking a bond and I will end my life. And I turned around and I said, wait, I can't do that because Kelly will pass on with me. I think Kelly wants to enjoy life. Regardless, I got to bag her head all the time. I'm not a bad person.
No, you're not a bad person.
I hate having these.
You're not a bad person.
I have these people messaging me on Facebook saying, "Oh, why the hell? Excuse my language. Are you in love with that zombie?" I'll just delete them. I did nothing. I'm not molesting children. I'm not I'm not killing people. I'm not blowing up schools like all these wackos are doing, okay? Kelly wouldn't do something like that either. Kelly doesn't hurt people. And I couldn't even bear a child, okay? Because if I had a child, how do I know how the kid's going to turn out? It could kill people. It could be a schizophrenic. I can't bring my kid into this world with all these cruel people. I want to be with Kelly. I don't want kids. Okay. And I got to tell you one more thing.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I must be talking too much.
No,
but
it's you. I'm enjoying hearing your story, Felicity. You sound like a really wonderful human being. So you carry on. Go on.
Thank you. Well, I always told myself I couldn't do this now because Kelly is not. People might think it's unhealthy, but I wouldn't want to get my kid taken off me. I don't have any kids, just letting you know. But if Kelly was a real doll, if she could walk and you could hear her talk or whatever, I would probably give her children so she could have that love without kids running. She would at least have a kid that wouldn't run away screaming from her. I would love to take Kelly out in public, but like one time, and my grandfather, who's done a lot for me, but he's trying to protect me, said, some woman's going to go off on you if you have that doll and that kid gets scared of her.
Yeah.
So I can't take that because when I get mad about my doll, I don't want the police to get called over the doll. That's not good.
Felicity, can I ask? You mentioned you and thank you for sharing some really intimate details with me. You mentioned your self-harming. When was the last time you self-harmed?
Oh, it was a while ago. I mean, Kelly's really helped me, you know.
Good.
Plus, my grandfather too. He says I shouldn't say these things, especially on the computer or especially on the radio, because I might get put away somewhere. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to kill myself because I have Kelly. I can't do that to her. I have a life with her. If I die, I can't have a ceremony in the back. I don't want to kill myself.
Good.
I don't really want to die. I want the pain to stop.
And what do you think is causing the pain? There's a big question, huh? 'Cause we talk a lot about mental health and mental illness on this show, and it's a pretty impossible question to ask, but where do you think the pain is coming from for you?
Losing dad and people.
You've lost other people as well, have you?
Well, put it this way. I'm going to say, I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm going to say it. I went through hell this summer. And Kelly was in an ambulance with me. She went to the hospital with me. Okay, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I did, but I was arguing with people. I even fought with my adopted sister. But I guess one of my adopted family members, after my father died, who adopted me, she couldn't take me anymore. This was like 4 months later. So she called the crisis people, and she had me put away in a nut house. And even my grandfather said, "You might have some problems, or you're not balancing. You have some guy walking around, rubbing his head, talking to himself, not even." He's acting like he's not even all there. You got another woman who's throwing milk at people. I'm not like that. I would never hurt anybody. The only time I would hurt you is to try to hurt Kelly. I'm not like that.
And listen.
Can you leave me alone?
And I'm not suggesting for a second that you're a nut. But have you? I know that your medical system is slightly different to what we have over here, and that you have to pay for stuff. But have you seen a doctor or a psychiatrist to talk about the depression and the self-harm and the suicidal thoughts?
I do see a therapist and I do see a psychiatrist.
Okay.
He's met Kelly. He doesn't like slasher movies, but he's met Kelly. He didn't cringe. He thinks he's very respectful.
Good for him.
I don't like the word ugly, because ugly means you're being a bully, and we're having a lot of that in this world, bullying.
Yeah.
Okay, that means ugly. Kelly is a beautiful doll. And listen, if I could have her recreated, if Dad was still alive and Dad could pay for it because Dad bought her for me, I would have the blood off her face, because that's what turns people off, is the blood. You don't even see the beauty inside her. She's got a little head. She's got pretty black hair. She's got little small hands. She's got little feet. She's adorable. And I got other dolls too, and they're poor babies. They don't do anything wrong. You know, I want to tell some people, you know, if your kid ever dies in a school shooting or something like that, get mad at them, not at me, because I'm not doing stuff like that. If anything, I would go into that school and I would protect everybody. I've had thoughts like that of protecting people and not hurting them and stuff, and taking down the shooter. Like, I want to be a hero one day. So how am I a nutcase because I have this doll? You tell me who's the real nutcase here, the school shooter or me? I'm
Felicity, right? When we got you on, I thought this is going to be a light, frothy little look at the slightly weird side of America. And what I'm coming to the conclusion is that you are a delightful human being. You are a beautiful spirit. You have you are precious, priceless, and valuable. And I'm kind of concerned, Felicity, because and tell me if I've got this wrong. Kelly to one side, I think you sound really lonely and a bit scared, and I'm just worried that you haven't got anybody else apart from Kelly in your corner?
I'll tell you this. No, I have my grandfather. He doesn't have a problem with him.
Okay.
He doesn't, I don't want no one taking Kelly off me doing this. I know nobody's going to take her from me because what it is I was born this way. Because even as a child, no, I didn't have Kelly. As a small child, but I always bonded with my stuffed animals. And Chucky the dog got me into dolls, but I always attached them. I gave them it just increased more. And I had this boy. He's still harassing me now. He was madly in love with me, and he's still harassing me, I think. And he didn't mind my dolls. I mean, you know what I mean? We even did things, and I didn't like it, but I mean, I turned him down for Kelly. So you tell me what you think about that. I turned the guy down for Kelly. He was a charming young man. He was always showering his gifts. I didn't want him, though.
And am I right? You're 16, Felicity?
Oh, no, I'm 19.
I'm sorry, 19. No, yes, I'm going to... hey, listen, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Sorry if I said anything rude about Kelly at the start. No,
it's okay.
I wish you the best of luck, Felicity, and I hope things work out for you. And I really hope that you manage to get a grip on that self-harming stuff, because I know people that do that, and it doesn't work as a pain release, does it? It doesn't. You think it's going to make things better, and it doesn't really. You can do better than that. I know you can.
Thank you.
Thank you, Felicity. You take care of yourself, yeah, and send our best to Kelly.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Gosh, what a lot to think about there. Should we have a break and then have a chat about it? 0344 499 1000.
Moonlit musings from mums, madams, and meat packers.
Oh, never mind, I must have misheard.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
The station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
Well, I learnt a lot from that conversation with Felicity. First of all, when we see these crazy stories in the papers and online about those those nut jobs in the States, that actually there's probably a lot more to it than just the crazy woman in love with a zombie doll. I thought she was delightful, Felicity. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your story, and I thought that was going to be a fun, light-hearted story. If I'm honest, I thought it was publicising a book. That's where I was going to go. Instead, I think what it's publicising is the fact that that there are lots of, and I want to say this delicately, there are lots of troubled souls in the United States of America, emotionally and mentally troubled souls, that are not getting the treatment that they should be getting, because you got to pay for the treatment in America. You got to pay to go and see a doctor. You got to pay for your medication. And a 19-year-old girl like that, who self-harms, the doll to one side, okay, but a 19-year-old kid, 19-year-old woman, who self-harms, has suicidal thoughts, who it sounds like has had some pretty unpleasant sexual contact with at least one male in her life, and her dad's just died, and it doesn't sound like she gets on with her stepmom and step siblings. She's 19. What chance has that poor girl got? And she says she's seeing a psychologist and a counsellor. I wonder if she's on, bipolar and depression and anxiety. What chance has that kid got? That's bleak. What a lovely human being she was. And I feel a bit guilty because I was bringing her out to parade her as a freak show. Me and Hayley didn't know that was the situation at all. Well done for getting her, Hayley. Shame on the Mirror for parading her like a freak show. And I feel bad because that was my intention. As soon as I realised, you'll hear the change in tone about 2.5 minutes into the interview when it suddenly clicks that actually the doll isn't the story. The story is this young woman who's in pain, man, who's in pain, and you could hear that. And our treatment over here of people with mental health issues I think you know what I'm saying. She mentioned bipolar and depression, and it could possibly be argued there may be a couple of other things going on. I don't know. I ain't a doctor. And our treatment of mental health issues is woefully inadequate in this country, but, you know, it's better than America. That's really hit me, that story, and I wish her the best of luck. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Apparently Aretha Franklin isn't dead. I tweeted earlier, Aretha Franklin, R.I.P. My online source was inaccurate, and it offended a lot of people on Twitter, and I would just like to say to Ms. Franklin, and to her family, and to all of the Aretha Franklin fans on Twitter that I offended with that tweet, I apologise. It was not my... I didn't show enough RESPECT. I should have cross-referenced the information I got, and I didn't do that. I just took the first thing I saw and I went with it. And I apologise for that. And let's hope we get some more hits. Let's hope she gets better, and we get some. She goes back to Motown in Detroit, Michigan, near New York, and she gets back in with those Motown guys, and we get some more hits out of her. That's what we're hoping for, my lady. We wish you the very best of luck. 0344 Oh! So, who wants to hear my story about how I nearly got murdered today? I forgot about this. You'd think I would remember it. I nearly got murdered today. So I had to drive over to East London, right, today. So I'm driving through kind of like Old Street. You know, London, Old Street. It's very busy, very busy. It's very hot. And I was in a lane. I was in the bus lane, but it wasn't the bus lane, but then it became the bus lane. So I tried to turn right into the main lane, right, and there was a space. So I indicated, and I went for it. And the guy to the right and behind me did that thing. He sped up. He sped up to stop me from getting in there. Right? There was plenty of room. I went for it. He sped up, and he went round me a bit and stopped me from getting in. I thought, oh, man. So he went past. I got behind him, and I beeped him. Right? And then we came to some lights, and he was going to go straight, and I was going to turn left. So I went into the left-hand lane. And as I went past... I'm not proud. I beeped him. He turned to face me. I flipped him the bird. I mean, come on. Come on. Then we get to the lights and we stop. He then pulls out and gets behind me and winds down his window and starts shouting, what do you want, mate? What do you effing want? And I do. And here's the thing. When people are getting angry with you in a car, you got to bring it right back down. So I stuck my head out the window and cupped my ear as if to say, I can't hear you. So he's getting loud. What do you effing want? What do you effing want? Again, I'm cupping. What do you effing want? And then he started. I thought he was looking like he was going to get out of the car. So we were at traffic lights. So I picked up my phone and stuck it out of the window, pretending I was filming him, because that diffuses anything. So he's then still shouting a bit, and this is when it started to turn sour. I'll be with you in a minute, Max. This is when it started to turn sour as I'm pretending to film it. He went, what are you... Are you Iain Lee? Jesus. You're Iain Lee! And he started laughing. And I thought, oh, man, okay, well, it's time to get away. So he's still shouting and beeping at me. And then the lights turned to green... And I don't know, I must have been nervous or something. I don't know. I stalled the car. And I started the car, and then I stalled the car again. For a minute. I was nervous. I started the car, then I stalled it, then I started it, then I stalled it. And he's getting angrier with me. Oh, he was getting very angry with me. And I'm getting more frustrated and... flustered, and eventually I managed to start the car and I drove off, and that's when the nightmare really started. Then it turned, have you seen the movie Duel? It then turned into Duel, right? So we're then driving through East London and he's following me because I'm going this way and that way over the Irish Sea. I'm doubling back on myself. He's following me. And that's when I start, that is when the snowflake part of me kicked in, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to die. So I got my phone when we stopped at some lights, went to the Google Maps, and I typed in police station. This is what you should do, guys, police station. So I typed in police, and I saw there was a police station 4 minutes away. It was a pop-up police station. I didn't know what that meant, but I thought I'm going to take a punt. So we had to double back on ourselves, and then I saw an opportunity, though. So we're heading back to the police station. Then I saw an opportunity. I saw a bus was about to pull out, right? So I managed to get in front of the bus. The bus pulled out, and then suddenly there's a bus between us. Got some breathing room. And then there were some lights, and I managed to get through the lights and the bus, and he didn't. I thought this. And eventually, I shook off the tail. But for about 15 minutes, this guy was following me, man. And I'm then bricking myself, right? And he's also, and this is illegal, he's driving and he's holding his phone up and filming me while he's driving. So I am driving like the best. I'm 28 miles an hour in a 30. I'm indicating, I'm braking and plenty. I'm doing the best driving. I'm doing driving test driving. AK-15, that's how his number plates start. I'm not stupid. Honestly, it was terrifying. It was absolutely, Magz, do you know what I mean? It was terrifying.
I'm terrified for you.
I thought he was going to kill me. He looked, it was a big, posh, might have been a Rover or something. AK-15's on the number plate
They
started.
don't make Rovers anymore.
I don't know, and you're right, actually, they don't. It was a silver car.
I don't think they do.
All right, mate. You don't come at me with your floppy hair and your eyes and your gap in your tooth. You're detracting from the main focus of the thing is that I was nearly killed.
No, I get that. No, totally. No. Did victim support?
Sorry?
Victim support.
Victim support only help you if you've been involved in a crime, haven't you?
Well, I think you might have been involved in, now it's a virtual crime, actually. You've broadcasted it, so, yeah, it is
I've got most of his, I have most of his number plate.
Yeah, well, that's good enough, actually. And I think he deserves it. No, he deserves it, doesn't he, really? No.
Okay,
That's a good thing, too.
So I'm going to go and kill him, is that what you're saying?
Well, that might be a little bit extreme. Just have give him a good licking off.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, it was terrifying. I survived it. And I'm just saying.
I didn't know I was in on this conversation, by the way. I was just like expressing my views from far.
Hang on, you didn't know you're in this conversation. You're the only caller we've got lined up. It's a.
Oh, really? I didn't know that, did I?
Listen, this is Britain's most popular late night phone-in show.
Well, I can only phone it when I'm not working for the next day.
I don't care about your diary!
Well, no, you should.
I do not give a stuff about your diary!
Okay. Fair enough. Right. Okay, right. Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, go on. Right, what you got?
Okay,
what have you called in for, Magz? Magz with a Z.
With a Z, I know. Well, if I was Magz with an S, I'd be Magz, wouldn't I?
Yes.
I'm not a Magz. But I've just phoned to say hello, really.
Hiya.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm not doing all right. I feel a bit lousy today.
Not. You know what? I have had a quite crap few days.
Go on.
At work, but at home is a thing. Okay, I told you I work in mental health.
Yes.
Then I work on adolescent ward.
Aye.
I had to cut a ligature from around a patient's neck.
No! Oh, yeah. Mate!
Really not very nice.
Oh, Magz, man, how do you go home? How do you unwind after that day at work?
I had to do that. But unfortunately, at that moment in time, I was the only female member of staff on the ward. So I cut the ligature away and got rid of it. But then we had to give this patient something to calm her down a little bit. But then I had to persuade her that, you need to have this little bit of medicine, but you need to sit up. But you can't sit up because everyone else is male, and you've got everything hanging right out now. So I had to just sort of go in there, all guns blazing, which isn't me. I'm quite a softie, to be fair. But yeah, no.
And all guns blazing in what respect? Telling everyone to...
Well, I don't know. So I kind of like... I like to give people the benefit of the doubt in my life, in general.
Yeah.
But at this point, because I was the only female, I had to say to her, look, I need you to sit up, and I need you to allow me to assist you in getting dressed, because, you know, we need to have you in a perfectly more dignified position to accept this medication.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Oh, did it?
Yes, it did, but it made me feel a little bit weird being that direct about it.
Sometimes you have to, don't you? Sometimes you just got to say, we need to do this, otherwise we can't get anywhere. And you've got to be blunt.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. But so I did that, but then I was like, okay, I've done that, and then I'm really pleased with myself because I did that, and I'm really pleased because she's still alive.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Yeah.
Then I come away from that thinking, shit, this is what, you know, I do this every day. Oh shit, you know, I felt a little bit unhinged, I suppose, in my own life, a little bit.
But then, so what do you do? Do you live on your own, or have you got people at home with you?
Yes, I live on my own.
So how do you? Because I'm finding, you know, I've been living on my own for 2 years, but I've been in suspended animation. I've not included that room that I was living in as a home. I would go in and switch off, and now I'm in a house, and it's like, flipping heck, man, I don't know what room to sit in because I'm on my own.
Me too. No, I totally understand that. Because like I'm happy in one room. Because if I walk out of my room, I'm like, shit, there's a whole house out there and there's nobody in it. Oh my God, I'm just going to go back in my room.
I haven't used the boys at the weekend who are playing Xbox, but I've not used the living room. It's mainly because I haven't got a sofa yet. It's just crappy beanbags, and who knows when the sofas are going to come, because they take forever to make.
No, they do. I know. I think like DFS and stuff, they just make these things and then go, no one's ever going to buy that. And then one person orders it and they think, oh shit, we need to...
Wait, stop saying shit! You've had 3 shits!
Sorry.
But it's like it takes 10 to 12 weeks for a sofa to be made. Come on, guys!
No, it's really rubbish.
It's not a surprise that someone's ordered a sofa from you. You sell sofas!
No. But I don't think they actually think anyone buys them.
I've just seen that Jeremy Kyle's joining this station.
Oh, who? Who was he?
I've also heard rumours that Matthew Wright is joining this station.
Oh,
hang on. Hang on. What slot is Matthew Wright? I'm being told Matthew Wright is. What slot is he doing? Do we know yet? What is it? Is he taking over Jamie again? Is that? Oh, jeez.
I've met Matthew Wright once.
He's a prick.
Yeah, but that was because he was in the studio before Celebrity Soup was being filmed, and you were in there after.
He used to be a nice guy, and now I think he's an idiot because I'm coming in early. I'm coming in early to bump into him in the office, and when he says, "Oh, hi, Ian, how's it going? Hope you didn't mind that bit of fun on my TV series." I'm going to turn around and say, "Right, you are a C. You stitched me up, and you're a liar. Don't ever talk to me again. As far as I'm concerned, you don't exist. As far as I'm concerned, we now don't broadcast between 6:30 and 10, and we don't broadcast between 1 and 4 because you're dead to me, right? You're dead. You're the wrong. You're the wrong stuff. You're the wrong stuff.
I'm totally with you there, because when I went to see Celebrity Soup being filmed, I had to wait for Matthew Wright to come out with the right stuff, and he came out at 5:30 in the morning wearing a leather jacket.
I used to like Matthew. I got on really well with him until he stitched me up on a live TV show and went against the promise that it had been made to me 4 times, and was a complete and utter bell cheese. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him because I'll tell him all of that.
There too. I'd like to be there too.
I'll tell him all of that.
Double team. We'll double team up.
Man alive.
Anyway, lovely to speak to you.
Up your bum, Magz.
Bye.
Bye. That was actually an inappropriate way to end that phone conversation after what she told us. I apologise there. 0344 499 1000. So there you've heard it. Exclusive to great new signings to Talk Radio. Dear God, shoot you now.
Experience the unconventional.
Hello.
The unpredictable.
Don't you think that's a bit weird?
And the completely unorthodox.
It was my birthday.
With rule-free Iain Lee.
I was just trying to generate a bit of content.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Oh, we've got Skype as well. I keep forgetting to do the Skype. Let me open the Skype. Late Night Alternative. It's all one word, guys. If you want to... You can Skype in. Yes, guys, you can Skype in. Late Night Alternative. So that's an hour and 3/4 of radio done. Boy, oh boy, hasn't it been a roller coaster of emotions and varying degrees of grips on reality and mental health issues in a way that even by our standards we've crammed about a month's worth of emotion into less than 2/3 of a show. So I'm a little bit unsure as to where to take it, really. So I guess maybe we just sit here and wait. Let's just sit here. I tell you what. This is what we'll do. This will buy us 60 seconds. Right? Do you remember ages ago, a few months ago, when I went to New York last time? I'm going back to New York again this weekend, Monday, with my kids. I'm taking them to Ninja Sushi, where you get served by ninjas and they attack you during your meal, which the kids are excited by but terrified by. Taking them to see School of Rock on Broadway, going to Stardust Diner, where all of the waiters and waitresses are out-of-work actors and musicians, and they sing. Going to see a baseball game, and also going to Medieval Times, which bills itself as non-cutlery dining. Wow, that's like the first thing it says, non-cutlery dining. And so you sit in this arena, and you just eat like chicken drumsticks, like King Henry VIII. And there's jousting on actual horses and sword fights going on. This is incredible. So I'm doing that next week with an 8 and a 6-year-old, and I'm terrified, and it's going to be hot, and I'm trying to persuade Amani Coppola to look after my kids for an afternoon, and she's not up for it. Outrageous behavior. Just because she's a pop star, she doesn't want to look after my kids. But anyway, last time I went, I saw this brilliant documentary called Won't You Be My Neighbour about Mr. Rogers, who in America was a national institution. Danny, stay there, I'll come to you in a minute, promise. In a minute being the operative word. He was a national institution. He was like this kids' TV presenter from the 50s right through until a few years ago when he died. Very gentle, softly spoken man. Who just loved kids, and you say, someone love kids must be a pedo. No, he genuinely loved kids in a way that some people will say is unacceptable these days. Hey, I love kids. You know, we had a caller earlier on who thinks I'm a nonce. Okay, fair enough. I know my truth, and my truth is I love kids. And if I'm in a park with my kids, or I'm at a kid's birthday party, or I'm at a wedding that there are kids, I am a kid magnet. Even when I don't want to be, I'm a kid magnet. I'm the one that all the kids, they get the vibe from me, and suddenly they're swarming around me. And I took the kids to the park near me the other day, and suddenly, by the end of it, I had 5 kids around me. But you're not allowed to say that anymore, because he likes kids. He's got to be a little bit of a weirdo. You can just like kids. You can just like kids and get on with kids and prefer the company of kids. That's me. Anyway, this film was great, and I don't know if it's going to get shown over here, and I don't know if it's going to come out on DVD over here, but maybe we'll try and arrange a showing of it if it does. But there was one thing he used to do, right, on his show, and this was a show for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, okay, is he would sit there on television and say, what we're going to do for the next 60 seconds is we're going to be completely silent. I would like you to try and think of someone who is important to you, and they can be dead or they can be alive. They can be someone you saw 5 minutes ago or someone you haven't seen for years. They can be someone you've never met but you admire. But just sit quietly for 60 seconds and see who pops into your head, someone that has been very special to you, and just think about that person. So, let's do that. Think about someone in silence for 60 seconds who's been, special to you, important to you, means a lot. Maybe you're missing them because they are a long way away from you, and it feels like your life is incomplete when they're not there. maybe it's someone who's dead or whatever. And I think we've spoken about a lot of different types of missing and emotion tonight. So we'll do that. Then we'll kind of regroup. Danny, you're on the line as well. You can do it if you want. You don't have to, because I know you weren't phoning in for that. And then we'll speak to Danny and we'll carry on with the show. And if you want to phone in and let me know who you thought about, you can. And if you don't, you want to keep it private, then that's cool. So, let's make it, look, 11:50 and 30 seconds. That's when we'll start it. So let's just have 60 seconds silence starting now. There we go. Think of anyone? Anyone pop up? Did for me. Did for me. Let's go to Danny. Good evening, Danny.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Danny.
Yeah, good show tonight. It's nice when you're a little bit griefed by people, then we get to see just what a nice bloke you are. But you don't want to hear that, do you?
No, I don't want to hear that, you son of a gun. What you got for us, Danny?
I was thinking in that moment of silence that all of us in the chat window appreciated. Skegness Beach, 1978. I had to go on a donkey, and the donkey's now dead, and that was Shaggy Donkey.
Okay, thank you, Danny. That was...
so the reason I rang up is my daughter went to the seaside yesterday, and I thought maybe you might want to know what she brought me back from the seaside.
Please tell me it was a stick of rock.
No, I'm too fat for rock.
Oh, come on. Does anyone... You go to the seaside and they always have a little stall, kiosk, a booth selling sticks of rock. But I've not had a stick of rock since, I'm going to name the date. I remember it in the cupboard, 1982.
Wow, good year for rock.
And we would eat rock. You'd get a stick of rock and you'd eat a bit of it. And then you'd wrap it up again in the wrapper and put it in the cupboard. And then go back to it a few days later. And a stick of rock, once opened, could last about 3 or 4 weeks.
It has a half-life of 1,000 years, a stick of rock.
I think it did, man. I think it did, yeah.
Yeah, so, she got me a tiny little pebble.
Yes.
A yellow Tyrannosaurus Rex that she won from the 2p pushers.
Oh, wow. She actually won something on the penny shove.
She won 2 things. She also got me a tiny bag of Haribo sweets, and I scoffed the lot.
She didn't eat them?
No, she doesn't like sweets.
Wowzers.
But she's 20, so I expected a lot more than that from her, but that's all I got.
Okay, Danny, you're calling up with material. Thanks very much indeed. Let's go to Lewis. Good evening, Lewis.
Ian?
Lewis?
Hi, can you hear me?
Not really. Are you on speakerphone?
I'm not. This is Haley said that my phone sounds a bit dodgy as well. I'm not sure what's up.
I can't understand I don't understand the words that you're saying to me.
Oh my God. Sorry. Haley said that my phone sounds a bit weird.
Well, you've just done something to make it sound a bit better, so you know exactly what you're doing, young man.
I don't.
You do?
Not exactly, I don't.
I think
kind of got a grasp.
You're a player.
I'm a player, man. I'm a player in the game.
You're a player, and I respect a player.
Oh, wicked, man. I respect somebody that respects a player.
You'd have to. And that is why you're a player, because of the respect that's floating around.
Players respect players, Ian, you know.
You know what I'm saying, brother? What you got for us, Lewis?
I called you a few months ago. We were talking about Will Ferrell films.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you were good. Why didn't you Skype me, you muppet?
I tried to.
Yeah, but that was when I was doing the silence.
I've just downloaded Skype. Look, man, I'm going to be honest. I'm not exactly a Microsoft wizard, you know. Hello?
I'm calling you on Skype.
Oh, hang on. I'm on the phone. It's not working.
Alright. You're an idiot. Okay.
Yep.
Right, yes.
Sorry. Did you get a chance to see Everything Must Go with Will Ferrell?
Remind me which one that is. Is that the one where he's a slightly crazy character out of his depth?
No, he's like an alcoholic, he's lost his job and everything. It's quite sad.
Is that the one where he's a character in a book?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's called Everything Must Go. You said you ordered it on Amazon.
I don't think I did. If I said it, it was the DVD?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't order a Will Ferrell DVD. I like Will Ferrell movies.
Yeah.
Hugh Simpson _ Why don't you go and just stick your internet up your backside, you massive knob?
Do one, Hugh. Hugh Simpson can bloody go and do one.
He's saying, I think Iain Lee has a massive potential to be a really good radio presenter. Not sure if his lack of self-belief or confidence. What? Go away, little boy.
Yeah.
You're Hugh Simpson _ Anyway, I like watching Will Ferrell films, but for free. I don't like paying for them. I don't think they're that good.
All right. Okay, well, that's about...
Is that... Do you understand me, Lewis? I like watching his films, but for free, I do not want to pay for them, and I couldn't sit through Talladega Nights the other night.
No way. Well, I don't know. Sacha Baron Cohen was cool in that, wasn't he?
I still... here's the thing. All right, cards on the table. I still can't watch things with Sacha in. It still makes me feel a bit jealous and a bit bitter. It really does. So I'm never going to watch this This Is America program. I've never seen Borat. I've never seen the gay one. I can't watch a Sacha Baron Cohen movie because there's still a little. And this is me being completely honest. There's still a little bit of unresolved. Jealousy, resentment. More resentment.
Why was it me, man? Why you?
No, I think I'm beyond that.
Oh.
But it's more... I'm muting Hugh Simpson. But I'm not blocking him, not going to give him the satisfaction of the black.
Yeah.
It's more... I don't know, it's more... It's me, not him.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got somewhere there, Lewis.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, well, that's two-thirds of the show done. 03 44 499 1000 is the phone number. You can Skype Late Night Alternative. Another hour of this to go, guys. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Head us out
Someone needs to tell Jeremy Kyle and Matthew Wright that the cable that connects the computer for the sound effects has not been fixed. It's still a loose cable, because when they come in and they play their crazy sound effects, you know, when Jeremy Kyle probably wants to borrow, whereas Matthew Wright... Whoa! Hey! What the hell? See? Matthew Wright wants to play...
Shag a pony.
I want to play... or...
Hookah shaka, hookah, hookah, hookah shaka, hookah, hookah, hookah shaka, hookah, hookah, hookah shaka.
Dear. What a radio program.
Thank you, David. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can Skype Late Night Alternative, all one word. If you can work out Skype, dear God, man, it's 15 years out of date anyway. How can people not work it out? For all that is holy in this world. How can people not work it out? Here's a serious question. With the station moving towards... I don't know. What would you describe it? Employing dicks. How safe is my gig here? All right, don't answer it that way. But you got to think, when you see it going in a newsy direction, and I use the term in inverted commas when discussing Matthew Wright. Newsy. Jesus. You got to think, is there room for my bumfoolery weeknights from 10? The most listened to late night phone-in show in Britain. Is there room? Is there really room? There's this thing. I heard them discussing this on Radio 4, and it's in the Mail. Right, some idiot. What's this guy's name? Let's name him. Christopher Stevens. I'm Christopher Stevens, and I'm an idiot. Because I've written a piece where... he's basically said... He's written a whole piece, and good for him. He's probably got a few £100 for that. Oh, sugar, I've got to write a piece for Record Collector about XTC. I was meant to do that today. Well, that's tomorrow's job. So he's probably got a few £100, maybe £1,000 for this, right? So I don't necessarily buy his premise, but let's assume that he means what he's saying. Okay, and he's not just selling his soul to make a few quid. But so he says here, it's the latest fad. Leave your unwanted clutter on the street with a please take sign. But, says Christopher Stevens, it's lazy and utterly selfish. And he calls it middle-class fly tipping, right? First of all, it's not the latest fad. People have been doing it for years. I, to this day, find it so difficult to walk past a VHS, VCR, outside someone's house. You don't see furniture out the front so often these days with a please take me sign. I used to love doing it when I lived in a flat in London. I used to love putting like a bedside cabinet. And man, I need 2 bedside cabinets. I'd kill for those bedside cabinets are so expensive. I just want 2 bedside cabinets. That'd be £150. What? Because I don't want to go to IKEA and make them. I just want to buy them on eBay. It's expensive. Anyway, so we would put like a bedside cabinet out in the front and watch the people that would come. I told you, this is slightly going off topic. I'll come to you in a second, David. When I discovered, I guess it's Free Cycle, and this is years ago, and I had I posted on Free Cycle 2 separate posts, because you post for your region, 2 separate posts. One was for a colour portable television, but you know, it was a big old portable, you know, the ones with the back. It's a heavy, not these, you can carry, I picked up a 42-inch television with just my hands and lifted it. Dear God! Technology! It was a big old portable, heavy one, right? It was a small portable, but big. So I had that, and then in a second posting on Free Cycle, I had, and don't ask why, I had a commode, right? And this woman phoned up and said, I'd like the item on Free Cycle, please. She said, okay, what is that? She goes, well, the commode and the television. She wanted both. I was like, yeah. Oh, she emailed. They do email. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever, come and get it. I said, they're quite bulky, so you're going to, want to have a car, quite bulky. She's coming from Tottenham. I lived in Muswell Hill. It's close, but it's a bit of a trek. So about 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, this old woman turned up, right, in her 70s, late 70s. She turned up, and I was like, whoa, okay, you're gonna, where's your car, and I'll take it out to the car. She says, oh, I didn't get the car, I got the bus. I got the bus? I said, there is no way you are going to take both of these things on a bus on your own. It's impossible. I couldn't do it. And at that point, I was a fit young man who just turned 30. And she said, I said, well, look, do you think you can get the commode on the bus? She said, yes. I said, well, if you do that, I tell you what I'll do. I will keep the tip portable for you. You can have it. I'll wrap it up in a bag and I'll just put it on the front step and you can come and get it tomorrow. She's like, fine. But this woman in her 70s carted a commode from Muswell Hill to Tottenham on a bus. Kids these days, they do not know they're born. Good evening, David.
Good evening, Mr. Lee. How are we?
Yeah, I'm lousy, mate. What have you got for us?
Well, I'm bus driver, Dave, from West Yorkshire. Thank you, driver.
Thank you, driver.
Thank you.
Have you ever seen an old woman with a commode and a portable television?
I haven't. I'm a bit further up north for that. But I have seen a guy on a regular who takes 2 cases.
Hang on a second. What is in this coffee, Hayley? That is disgusting. It's not. I'm not fussed because it's not. I didn't ask for it, so it's not me being rude. She brought it. Is yours disgusting? Yours is all right. The hell are you trying to do to me, woman? That is disgusting. That is a horrible coffee. Come and smell it. Come in here. Sorry, David. I'm just going to get Hayley to smell my coffee. That smells. No, I don't want another one. 2's kind of the limit anyway. Smell it. That smells. Don't drink it because I spat in it. That is disgusting. Go on.
Oh God, that is disgusting.
But yours are all right.
Yeah.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. It's funny. It's a joke. It's a funny joke, is it? Out. Unbelievable. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, David. What did you call in for, please, sir?
Oh, funny old one tonight, Ian, don't you think?
It's a strange one. It certainly is.
Well, firstly, I want to say a failed marriage does not equal a failed man.
I know all of that.
Next. The lady with the zombie for a doll, I was loving how you were getting into what was a real problem there. You were like, yeah, but what is it? Yeah, but what is it? And then you clicked onto what her real issues were as to why, she's into dolls and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very intuitive, mate. Very intuitive. Next thing, so your snowflake moment driving away.
Yes.
Yeah, get a dash cam, mate.
Yeah, I think I might have to. I think I might have to. I think I could, because it was, but then you've got to have one in the back.
You can get ones that like face front and backwards now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dead clever. But it's just better safe than sorry, especially driving on those kind of roads where you are. Get some real crazy people, man. Real crazy people. There was nothing to stop that guy jumping out.
I like a little bit of froth as I'm driving. I like a little bit of animosity. It makes the world go round. But as soon as someone starts to open their door, that's when I think, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yeah, I've had a few incidents like that myself, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Yes, man, of course.
The last incident, it was an uninsured driver who writ off my car and smashed into the side of me at a roundabout. So, you have really got to be careful. Really, really careful, mate.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. It's a crazy world out there.
It is. And I want to give you somebody normal to speak to for at least 5 minutes, because you've had a few on this evening, mate.
Yeah.
So, congratulations on the farmhouse as well, mate.
Yes, it's great, mate. 1,500 cattle, although milking them it's a tough old job. I've got farm hands that help out, but I like to get my hands dirty. And let's just say my hands are very, very dirty.
Well, pat on the back, mate. You've been waiting a long time for it, do you know what I mean? And well deserved.
Thank you, mate. It's appreciated.
No worries. Have a good evening. It's been good talking to you, mate.
Thank you very much, David. Touchy bye. 03444991000. Everyone, here's the thing. The app has gone down and the online thing has gone down again, right? And I know. There is nothing I can do about it. Tweet at Talk Radio. Tweet at Denny Morris. He knows about it because I emailed him today. He's known about it for a while. He's looking into it. I suggest, instead of spending money on, Matthew, right, that they spend a few quid on making sure that the station can broadcast for 24 hours a day before they, start employing egos. But really can't stand the bloke. But, and I'd say it to his face. It's not me being two-faced. I will say it to his face. But people telling me and getting angry with me, I'm sorry, and I appreciate your patience around this. There is nothing more. There's nothing I can do. It's not like I can, during the ads, pop downstairs and switch the computer off and on again. I can't. Can I? No. Could I do that? No. I don't know where it is. But tweet at Denny Morris, tweet at Talk Radio, keep letting them know. I've told them. By the way, Alistair, you're phoning in. You're never going to get on my radio show again, not after you called me an effing C. So put your phone down, buddy. So I know, but I appreciate your patience. I appreciate the fact that some of you have to persevere to listen to the show. If you want the stream, it's just people, but people are just emailing me abuse as though it's my fault. I can't do anything about it, can't do anything about it. This is Talk Radio.
Take a trip into the alternate reality of late night radio.
I think I'm in something like the Matrix, and so are you.
The late night alternative.
Hello.
With Iain Lee.
Is there anybody out there?
On Talk Radio.
Hello.
Hey, we got a Skype call. Lewis. Jeez. Hey, Lewis.
Hey.
Hello, Lewis.
Hey, can you see me or hear me?
I can hear you. I don't particularly want to see you. I can hear you, but it sounds. Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Oh, man, I want to say thank you for letting me onto the air and everything.
For what? It's a terrible. What are you speaking into? A hairbrush?
No, it's my phone, but I dropped it the other day. It's trouble.
Right, mute your stream, caller.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, there we go. I can see you. I can see your beautiful face. Look at that, beautiful. Hey, look at you, beautiful face, lovely smile, cheeky smile, great apartment. You look. There's some leopard skin there. There's a cat.
Yeah.
It looks like. What's that? Those lines of white stuff on that table there?
Oh, sorry, man.
Oh, man, come on, guys. I'm joking. Lewis is a cool guy. He's not into monkey spangles. He's a cool guy. What have you got for us, Lewis?
Well, man, I just want to say thank you for letting me onto the air. And I wanted to say, the last caller, did he say that all your other callers were weird? And that you needed somebody, normal?
Yes, that's exactly what was said. I don't know.
I said thanks for that. And I felt like I had to ring you back,
Okay. Well, hang on, did we just speak to you?
Yeah.
Go away! Double bubble! Go away! Hung up. Outrageous. How would you rate the quality of this call? 1. I heard noise in the call. And the noise, unfortunately, was Lewis's voice. That's what it was. I like Jeremy Kyle, by the way. I've met Jeremy Kyle a few times. He's a nice guy. I like Jeremy Kyle. He's a very nice guy. He's got a very piercing stare. He's really going to look you in the eyes. And he's going to... I think he is the lie detector on that show. Looks you in the eyes and he stares into your soul. Very determined. Lewis, I'm joking. Very determined look. The other guy? Yeah. But so this middle-class fly tipping, as it's been called, this guy's written a whole article where he condemns people leaving bits of furniture outside their house with a little sign saying, please take me. Well, it's not fly tipping, because fly tipping is when you dump like a mattress or documents in a hedge and then you go away. And it could be there for weeks until the council come and collect it. That's what fly tipping is. This is, this thing of putting a bookcase out in the front or some bedside cabinets. I'm obsessed with bedside cabinets at the moment. That's recycling. That's what that is. That's a positive, constructive thing to do. Let me read this. I've turned the light off so I can't really see. Littering the gardens, walls and pavements of suburban Britain, there's a new scourge, middle-class fly tipping. I haven't seen it for ages. I think this guy is bang out of... He's like 10 years too late. You might have noticed the heaps of junk that have started to appear. IKEA wardrobes, bookcases. I could do with a bookcase as well. Picking up a bookcase tomorrow that I won on eBay for £31. But I've had to hire a van to collect it. Tables, most of them too battered and shabby for any self-respecting squat. Well, here's the thing. Middle-class Daily Mail writer that probably got paid, what, 500 quid to write this? Maybe £1,000? Maybe £2,000 to write this? Not everyone can afford new furniture. Some people can't afford to feed their kids. So don't get sniffy about the state of the furniture that's left out there. And taped to each stack of rubbish a handwritten note that says, please take or free to good home. In my hometown of Bristol, it has become an epidemic. The rubbish can sit there for days, sometimes weeks. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think you're lying. The bin men don't remove it, of course, because it isn't bagged. It's just unwanted clutter. If the family don't need a broken swivel chair or a chest of drawers with 2 knobs missing, and this guy's trying to paint a picture with his words, and the picture he's painting is of a man who can't write very well. I can't imagine why they think anyone else would even want to look at it, let alone trip over it. Because not everyone's got money, dude. People are poor. People are skint. And the most galling thing, that these smug litterbugs pretend they're doing a community service by offering... Oh, this guy's a dick. That guy's a jerk, as my American cousins would say. That guy's a jerk. I don't want to read any more from that jerk. 0344. What have I written down here? 0344 499 1000 is the old telephone number. Oh, there's the Jack Whitehall gay thing, but everyone's done that. Here we go. Not many people have done this. They probably have. I don't care. I'm not listening to radio for days. She'd spent 3 days languishing on a rooftop, refusing to budge, and probably pining for her cosy perch at home. But Jessie the macaw was hardly grateful when firemen came to rescue her yesterday. As they tried to coax her to them, she responded with a most unladylike foul-mouthed tirade, telling them to F off. The turquoise and yellow parrot then flew off, landing on another roof and then a tree, before being reunited with her owner. Jessie had been on a neighbour's rooftop in Cuckoo Hall, because it's a bird, in Cuckoo Hall Lane, Edmonton, North London, since escaping from her home. That's weird. That's funny enough. Why were my boys asking about parrots the other day? Why was I talking to... I said my boys, I was talking to someone about parrots. I can't think who. But parrot is a weird pet to have. Even as a kid, seeing... But like when I was a kid growing up in the 70s, like grandparents all had like budgerigars or canaries. I don't know. In cages. And even as a kid, right, even being like 5 or 6, I'd look at these yellow canaries in a cage and think, that doesn't feel right. And then you'd let them out and they'd fly around the room and then they go, just thinking, that doesn't feel right. But you don't see it so much these days, but these huge parrots, in cages inside somebody's house. That's weird, isn't it? That's weird. And you put a blanket over the parrot so that it can be nighttime, and then the parrot goes to sleep. That's inappropriate. I don't like aviaries. Are they aviaries? Aviaries. I don't like them. Attempts by her owner and the RSPCA to coax her down were unsuccessful. The fire brigade was summoned amid fears she may have been hurt. In an effort... Although I'm not one of these snobby, sneering people I like stories about the fire brigade and the police rescuing animals. That's exactly what they should be doing. There's a great bit of film of, like, it's in America or maybe it's New Zealand, I don't know. And there's a duck and a couple of ducklings stood by a drain at the side of a really busy road, right? And then these coppers come along and they stop the traffic, and one copper lies down on the road and puts his hand down the drain and starts fishing out ducklings. Just starts fishing out ducklings that have fallen down there. That's exactly what the police should be doing. The fire brigade was summoned after fears she may have been hurt. In an effort to win her confidence, the crew manager volunteered to go up the ladder with a bowl of food and a white towel to wrap her in. He called out, "I love you" in English, Turkish and Greek. The languages Jessie's owner is fluent in. Then I don't understand this sentence. Oh, yes I do. Watch manager, Chris Swallow. So that's the guy who works for the fire brigade. I wonder what a watch manager was. Who attended the scene said, while Jessie responded, "I love you" back, we then discovered she had a bit of a foul mouth and kept swearing, much to our amusement. Jessie had been on the same roof for 3 days, and there were concerns that she may be injured, which is why she hadn't come down. Thankfully, it soon became apparent that Jessie was fine and uninjured. And I don't think any of these stories are going to satisfy our need. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The radio show that knows truth is always stranger than fiction.
Week Monday, I get shoes.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Because they're too real to be part of my imagination.
On Talk Radio.
Okay, guys, it's kicking off online because no one can listen to the show online. And, you know, part of me thinks, what's the point of doing the show if no one can listen to it? If you're listening on YouTube, you can hear the show because it's coming through the headphones. It's not great. It's not HD quality, but it's coming through the thing. But everyone's saying that the Talk Radio app, the Talk Radio website, TuneIn and Radio Player, they just drop. The feed just drops only during my show. The most popular late night phone-in show in Britain. So part of me thinks, well, if there's only 221 people listening, which is the figures, which are the figures for the people watching on YouTube, right? 220 people now listening. What's the point? What is the point in me doing this? And the conclusion I come to is there is no point. So, for the last 30 minutes, we're going to sit here. I'm going to turn the light on and I'm going to read my James Taylor book to myself because I'm enjoying it. We're up about 1978. He's still a heroin addict. And he's still married to Carly Simon, but I don't think that's going to last much longer. I might read it to you, actually. I'll read the James Taylor book to you, right? And if you want to call in, we'll take calls straight to air for the last 30 minutes. If you want to call in, you can do. Otherwise, you're going to sit and, 228 of you are going to sit and listen to me reading my James Taylor book for the last 30 minutes of the show. There's no point in me bringing out the big guns if we're not broadcasting. Is there? There's no point. There's no point in me working my magic if it's not broadcasting. So there we go. There's the camera there. Let's turn the light on because I can't see in this light. My eyes are getting worse, man. I need to go to the office and get that sorted, man. I need to go to the oppies. Now I find out I've not got my James Taylor book. Yes, man! James Taylor! Sweet Dreams and Flying Machines. The Life and Music of James Taylor by Mark Rybowski. We're quite far in. I think it's going to be one of those books, and I really dislike these biographies where I like it. I like books. I like the lives of pop stars when it goes wrong. When you have the success, and I like the bit when the success turns and then the down. So for James Taylor, that would be the 80s and the 90s. But we're on page 247, and it only goes up to 305. So I don't think we're going to get much. So I'm going to read it, and if you want to phone in, would you call straight to air? I'll just do this. I'll wear my headphones, I suppose. Yes, line 1. Okay, here we go. Okay, Taylor was still hot property. On May the 12th, he was back as a musical guest on Saturday Night Live, hosted by Michael Palin, the one with the classic Raging Queen sketch, with John Belushi, captain of the all-gay ship on its journey to Mykonos, Kronos and San Francisco, and Danny Aykroyd as Jimmy Carter, presenting the Boulevard of Proud Chicano Cars. Hello, caller.
Hello, is that Ian?
Yes, you're on the air.
Oh, hi Ian. Do you know what? I've been meaning to talk to you for ages. I've got a lot of things going on. Can you help me?
Of course I can. Could you not be on speakerphone?
Sorry.
What's wrong with people holding phones these days?
Sorry?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello there. Can you turn the radio off and hold the phone by your head?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's really wrong, isn't it? You know, I listen to you all the time. I should know the rules.
You should know the rules, Vanessa. Come on now. Don't make me chastise you.
Oh, Ian, come on. I think you're really missing Catherine, yeah?
Who?
Catherine Boyle.
Is she a caller to the show?
She's your, what do you call it, producer, your co-presenter, or...
I kind of produce the show myself, and there's no co-presenters, no.
Oh, sorry, all right then. Best wishes to everybody, but I really wanted to say, I'm just about to move house, and you've just moved, so it's a headache, isn't it?
It's moving house is the worst thing ever, and I didn't have any furniture to move. I just had boxes.
I've got a whole house, 2-bedroom house that I need to move, and I don't know what I'm going to do with all this stuff. Because the place I'm moving into is already furnished, so I don't need any of my stuff.
Oh,
is that a big O?
So, well, then you need to get leave your stuff out on the street.
Really? Is that what people do now?
Leave it out on the street. And
seriously, I can't. I've got a whole 2-bedroom house, beds and white goods and cookers and microwaves and cutlery and plates and
chuck it.
Saucepans. They're too good to chuck. I can't chuck them.
Sell it.
Well, was there anyone that needs anything? Where can I apart from charity shops?
Okay. Well,
but they don't.
Okay.
They don't collect white goods, or they only collect stuff that's only got certain.
Okay. I'm reading a book about James Taylor at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I like James Taylor.
That's great. Thank you. Let's go to line 2 and then we'll carry on with the book. Hello, line 2.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
Oh, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Ian, just a quick question.
Yes.
Do you think talk radio, if you get a radio frequency like obviously Talk Sports, and then obviously make the whole thing a lot easier and just listen onto the old, just listen on the old transistor?
No.
Why is that?
Because it's DAB. It's a DAB station, and it's to do with licensing, and getting an FM or a medium wave license is really tough and expensive, and they wouldn't want to make the investment, I don't think. So no.
Okay. All right. Just thought I'd ask anyway.
Thanks very much indeed. The show was, just like Taylor, moving toward the end of its golden era, with Belushi and Aykroyd soon to join the already departed Chevy Chase's full-time movie stars. Taylor sang Johnny Comes Back, Up on the Roof, Up on the Roof, a mill worker. preparatory to going out, backed by the section, Sanborn, Grolnick, Wachtel, Lasley and McCullough, on a 6-week, 17-city summer tour with stops in LA's Greek Theatre, Berkeley's Greek Theatre and Madison Square Greek Gardens. He would also reappear in the pages of Rolling Stone in a September cover story interview with Peter Herbst, his steely blue eyes glaring on the cover, and a 2-page spread on the inside of him shirtless, staring blankly as a pair of shapely female legs and arms, not Carly Simon's, wrapped around him. A blurb beneath the image reading, "I want to perform, I wanted to write songs, and I wanted to get lots of chicks." His original reason for going to England, a mission surely accomplished. But, being James Taylor, he was not without the usual fears and insecurity. He admitted it had made him a little crazy to read Kit Rackless's now yellowed stone rip job of In the Pocket, which he said had really changed my opinion of the album. It sunk me, and I've decided 2 things about critics since then. I've decided that it's not worth my while to read them until somebody tells me it's okay to read them. And the other thing is that it's okay for people to not like what you do. Ooh, there's a line. There's a line, James. Thank you. It's okay to put out an album that nobody likes at all. If that was a reach, so was his latest suggestion that his drugged-out, depressed days were done. I'm not saying I'm depressed, because I've learned to deal with that largely. My tendency is to crawl into a hole and poison myself, intoxicate myself. But my family, not only the children, but Carly, has moved me away from the way I used to deal with it, which was completely over-touted drug problem. I don't understand what any of that means. Taylor was highly skilled now in the art of deception about this subject. While not saying he was off drugs, the inference was couched in careful language that a politician could envy. For example, he said he had gotten off of methadone in '74, and that I've been careful to make it work for me ever since, whatever that meant. Other bromides included, if I wanted to get really drunk and all effed up, I'd have to worry about whether or not I would hear the baby crying if it fell out, excuse me, a little burp there, if it fell out of the crib. And I'm not saying that I'm free of all my problems, because there's always that temptation, and some people say that it may even be hereditary. But I think that a jump rope can be as helpful to a depression as 2 years on methadone maintenance or 5 years in psychotherapy. Performing too was a prophylaxis. Among his preparations for a tour was no smoke, no coke. One reason why his voice was always so pristine. But what about after a tour? He forgot to say. We've got 3 more paragraphs, and then we'll do the break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish reading off this James Taylor book. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Hope you are as well. He was, as well, quite adept at the art of the self-put-down, claiming it was harder than ever for him to write, even focus, now that he could never write another Fire and Rain, given his complacency, and moreover had grown rather bored with himself. I've written 100 songs, and I think that's a lot of songs. That's not a bad James Taylor impression, by the way. A lot of them are repetitive, and a number of them are lightweight. I was going to open the tour with Blossom, but Blossom sort of bothers me. It seems so floral, so cute. Actually, there are so many songs that came after it in that mode that are really a drag. If so, it was this unsettled, gnawing unease that would keep him writing and performing for the next 4 decades. Indeed, that he suffered for his work was, he admitted, partly why the competitive nature of his marriage had caused tensions between himself and Simon, that's Carly Simon, tensions that might not be worth the grief. Maybe I shouldn't be out here trying to rock and roll for the people anymore, he mused. You know, I got a wife, I got a couple of kids, I'm getting older. I'm not a country artist. Maybe I can't do this forever. I used to think of the age of 35 as being the cutoff point, but I don't know if that makes sense anymore. And on that bombshell, we'll take a brief break, and we'll be back shortly after these messages.
The radio show where the owls are not what they seem.
Do you or have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
We could be dreaming and meeting each other in our dreams.
On Talk Radio.
I got that poison coffee on my book. Let's take this call. Call straight to air, otherwise I'm going to read James Taylor. Because there's no point doing the good stuff, because the stream is down. There's 220 people listening to us on YouTube. Hello? This is Sergeant Pepper's, isn't it? Good morning. Good morning. Good. Okay, let's go to line 2. Hello, line 2.
Let us begin with The Great Gatsby.
Okay, thank you very much, idiot. For all their private turmoil and mutually assured destruction, the Taylors were still the couple most likely to make people agog. It was always by the way, Carly Simon. What's the album cover where it's her in a negligee and boots? It was always an electric moment when they were seen together, such as when Vineyard residents were up in arms in 1980 that a McDonald's was going to open there. Suddenly, forgetting his working-class sensibilities on Flag, Taylor and Simon were aghast. Have we had the word aghast? No, we had agog. That the delicate beauty of the seaside town would be spoiled. I love a McDonald's. I don't have a problem with the McDonald's. Then too, Hugh Taylor, now married and a father of 2, his son named Isaac. That's James Taylor's brother. Had forsaken music to get into real estate in the Vineyard, where Kate and Livingston, his sister and his other brother, were also raising families. Isaac Taylor too was not far away, living in Boston. I'm going to be honest. We've picked up this book at quite a boring period. We've got quite a boring period in his life. I could go back and find a good heroine story or. But this is where we are. This is where we are. This is life, man. This is what we've ended up with. He was as well. This is a boring bit. Thus, property values were much on James's mind. Notwithstanding the jobs, the fast food joint would provide for less than rich denizens. He and Carly actually consulted Tom Hayden, the former Chicago 8 activist, who, with his wife, Jane Fonda, was in their LA circle. On Hayden's peculiar sense of what people power meant in this case, they went door to door gathering signatures from their wealthy neighbours vowing to boycott the restaurant should it open. When the corporate giant surrendered, a huge party was thrown at their home, where the swells celebrated victory over the encroaching Big Mac empire. At such events, and of course in public, Simon was always the one who grabbed the attention, which, despite Taylor's insistence that he was no party animal, began to bug him. Especially since her recording output was greater than his, even if she too was seeing uneven chart rankings. Her 1979 LP, Spy, barely crept into the top 50, and Come Upstairs, a year later, her first of 3 albums for Warner, was only marginally better at number 36, though it did spawn Jessie, mercifully a non-Taylor-related song that ran to number 11 on the pop chart. She was also giving her own interviews and seemingly digging into his ego and sexist impulses, such as saying he was the type whose idea of womanhood was having his wife stay home and bake pies. She wanted to come off as merely rakish, but Taylor felt the bite of such words. He knew he was no bargain. He could be a real prick, given to what he called black moods, a type of despair that I experience as being very deep. He credited Simon for coping with it, acceding when he would tell her to answer the phone for me and ask her for some reassurance. Hello, line 1.
My beard is itchy.
We'll give it a scratch. Carly's having a rough time right now, he said. She feels hurt and disillusioned, and I don't blame her. He said it's harder for her to do it without many other outlets, and also feeling much more restricted by family life and raising children than I appear. Basically, James Taylor was a bit of a knob in the 70s. Okay, there's a man pretending to be a woman on YouTube, so which is unusual. But when he would read a Simon interview in, say, People, he'd throw the magazine down with an expletive. Their friends could feel the bitterness growing. Taylor did not seem to object to the continuing A-list status he had. He also was serious, in his own limited way, about having 2 young kids to raise, but seemed to have a phobia of giving too much of himself and his time even to his family. Heroin, on the other hand, he always had time for. Here we go. Even after one of his endless promises to Simon to go to rehab for real. Simon apparently was going out of her mind trying to raise the kids with him coming in and out, sometimes late at night with people she did or didn't know, all of whom were as jacked up as he was. One time, according to Jacob Brackman, Carly walked into the living room to find James and Betsy Asher snorting coke, his own manager's wife, at a time when Peter Asher was insisting on shutting down Taylor's drug use. Simon, who was at her wit's end, recalled that, in not knowing how to help, I became even more helpless and foolish and more of a deterrent to his stopping, given how he turned on her whenever she would issue ultimatums. Drugs, guys. Don't do drugs, guys. It's as simple as that. Certainly don't do heroin. You don't need me to tell you that, though, do you? Or do you? If you want this tedium to stop, you've got to pick up the phone. Simple as that. But I know that we're probably not broadcasting right now. So there's hardly, I'm not going to bring out the big guns for when we're not broadcasting. Simon went through their houses and apartments daily on bloodhound hunts for drugs, flushing whatever she found down the toilet. She tried to preserve her sanity by spending most of her time living with the kids in her sprawling 12-room Central Park West apartment, keeping their distance from his rustic digs up at the Vineyard or the rented house out in Beverly Hills. When he was home, things could get hairy. Doesn't this sound like a loving relationship? Despite Taylor's oft-stated aversion to being a party animal, there were more than a few at his house, which friends describe as wild. One attendee told of seeing a couple openly effing on the kitchen floor, and said that there were always lots of drugs. If so, that would have made Simon a hypocrite, even if she didn't join in on the drug rituals. Let's go to line... Yes, line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hey, man, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Do you ever read fiction?
Not very often, no. All I read are rock biographies. Come in, Paul Ross. Come in, Paul. Come in, you terrifying man. All I read are rock biographies, really.
Do you not? Yeah, but how can you escape into biographies? You not find that if you read a bit of fiction, you can sort of escape into it?
I can escape into it. Well, first I do read a bit of fiction, a bit of Vonnegut every now and then. But no, I can escape into a rock biography. I love a good biography. Yeah, no, I can escape into. I'm escaping into James Taylor's 1980 heroin hell.
I know, I've been watching while I've been playing GTA.
Good for you, man. Here's the thing. Paul Ross is in the studio. Good evening, Paul Ross.
Good evening,
Dom on the line to us.
Hello,
For the
Dom.
last month, we've had people saying that the online stream between about 11 and 1 goes down. And people tonight, around about midnight, everyone went, we can't hear you online anymore. It'll pick up for your show, don't worry. There seems to be some glitch in the system.
So what's the problem? We're one big happy family, like the Mansons.
Well, yeah, now that Matthew Wright's coming here, I don't know. So, he is, but so I kind of think, well, for the last hour, there's no point in me bringing out the big
But I loved your book at bedtime. He's a fascinating man, James Taylor.
Yes.
And talking of which, Tom, I know I like a bit of fiction as well, but I've got a great biographer on tonight.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a Napoleon obsessive.
Okay.
There's a new book out called This Dark Business.
Yeah.
It's a revelation about, for 4 years, this country did their utmost to assassinate Napoleon. We tried to blow him up. We paid in the region of £2.5 million to the Austrian army to stay in a battle against him. Absolutely fascinating story, and the bloke's got it chapter and verse, and that's why the French still regard him as a huge hero. We tend to regard him as a kind of proto-late 17th, early 19th century Hitler. He wasn't that at all, I don't think, for reading this book. It's when you read a book, you think everything I knew and thought was wrong. It's like that. I swallowed the propaganda.
History books that are about things that are that old, how do they find new stuff? Or is it just someone simply looking at the evidence that everyone else has looked at from a slightly different perspective?
History, as we know, is written by the victors.
Yeah.
And we had happily for us, we beat Napoleon back in 1815 at the Battle of Waterloo.
Yeah.
Interestingly, having tried for 4 years to kill him, we didn't kill him, we exiled him for the second time. And there's a great revelation about that in this book.
Wow.
It's a fascinating story. But also, a lot of this stuff was from the Secret Service. It was led by a bloke called, I think his name was William Wickham. One spy went over there to assassinate him. They imprisoned him. Right, this guy offered a bounty of, in today's money, £100,000 to the jailers, and they let him out. He bust out.
Wow.
It's a fantastic. It's a movie waiting to happen.
Hayley, if I could have an out time, please, that would be absolutely delightful. Dom, we've got Paul Ross here. Would you like to ask him anything?
No
is the
answer.
answer.
Stuff on Twitter.
You what?
I've got nothing. I always ask him stuff on Twitter and he answers because he's good like that.
He's good like that.
No, I do like a bit of Twitter, actually. I take your point about it. Sometimes it feels a bit like, not your good rabbit hole, disappearing down a rabbit hole. But I try and stay away now from politics and all that stuff. It gets a bit too heated for me.
Don't put an opinion on there.
No. As my dad used to say, opinions are like armpits, everyone's got a couple.
You say armpits or...
He said something else.
Yeah, exactly. Dom, thank you very much. What else is on your show tonight, please, Paul Ross?
We're also talking, there's a brilliant thing happening this weekend. We tend towards the middle of the week onwards to look at things happening this weekend. This has been going 30 years. It may not sound that exciting, but it's amazing. I went about 5 years ago. It's called Bird Fair, and it happens in Rutland. It's 2 days, not just birds, they're talking about rewilding wolves, great guys like Chris Pack and Bill Oddie along there, and they're raising money this year. And they've raised something like, over the last 30 years, they've raised about £8 million. Yeah. They're raising money for what could be the biggest national park in Argentina, if they can reclaim it. And it's an amazing story. So we're doing that, which I'm looking forward to as well. And, okay, keep calm.
Yeah.
National Allotment Week.
Oh, mate, there's allotments directly opposite my farm. I love it.
It's everyone's dream when you hit a certain age, isn't it? When the grey starts to appear, silver threads along the gold.
The waiting list for allotments is years.
90,000 people in England alone are waiting for an allotment.
Isn't that funny?
And it's a kind of working class zen, I think. Remember when they used to be shouting? When isn't there shouting in Walford? Yeah. Where would Arthur Fowler go? Yeah. Down the allotment.
My dad had an allotment when we were kids, and it was quite a trek. It was.
But did you go with him? Was it a kind of nice bonding thing ever?
I did. Do you know what? I haven't thought about that for years. Yeah, we did go occasionally.
I remember going down, but then there came a point when, you know, I hit 13, 14, the spots started to appear, too cool for school. I stopped going, but luckily, because I'm the youngest of 5 boys, the kind of allotment baton was passed down through the family. So we've all got memories of going down to Dad's allotment. And the magazines I found there once, Dad, if you're listening online in France. The magazines, Razzle Dad, remember that?
Did he really?
He claimed they weren't his. He said they were my Uncle Steve's, and they may have been.
Do you know what? Thank you, Paul. Remind me of this, Hayley. This is tomorrow's phone-in. Where did your dad used to hide his jazz mags? My dad, this is a great phone-in. My dad used to hide them at the bottom of his wardrobe under his shoes. And I remember finding them when I was very young and thinking, what the hell is this? I don't know what it is, but I like it. That's tomorrow's phone-in. Thank you. Paul Ross! That's golden.
This is a complaint, please, care of Iain Lee, not Paul Ross, Esquire. And we're not really a happy family at all.
Oh, God, no. It's very, we hate each other. Paul Ross will be on at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Hayley. Thank you, James. I will be back tonight at 10. Until then, and the stream will start working in 3 minutes, which is great. Until then, from me, ta-ta!